All right, so like I pulled up. I remember because he invited me over, and it was just like 3 in the afternoon, and I parked my car on the street somewhere. There's not a lot of parking available near his house, and I knock on his door. He says, "Just come in. The door's unlocked." And I open the door, and it's like 3 of his friends that I've met before, but I don't remember their names, and him, and they're all and they're all wearing party hats, and they're just playing dubstep in the background. No. And I'm like, no. Stat, this is not what a rave is. Okay. Anyways, welcome back to. I thought about that open last night.
Whoa! Why is a dubstep part of dubstep's part of a rave? It can be part of a rave if you want it to be.
It's not
party hats.
They're just wearing like children's birthday party hats.
How dare you?
And like RuneScape.
Not dancing, not talking to each other. No one is high. It's Thursday. and they're just they're listening to fucking Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites, and I'm just like, this is not how raving works actually. You fucked this up.
Oh, that sounds like a great rave. Are you kidding?
Yeah, this is Tui.
That sounds like an amazing rave. Holy shit. I would be the first one there.
Yeah, you hosted it.
You would be the only one there.
You'd be the only one.
Like, there's that guy just standing alone, listening to dubstep with a party hat. Like, what is he doing?
Mario Party 3's on in the background.
Mario Party 3
still not a rave.
That's the best
Mario Party 3 is on in the background, and no one is playing it. Yeah, it's just CPUs versus CPUs, and they're betting on it.
I love it.
Just standing around holding like dollar bills. Like, yeah, get them.
Single dollar bills.
Yeah.
A $10 CPU money match of Mario Party 3.
That would unironically be kind of fun if you could do that. Gamble.
I'm surprised you haven't done that on this. You've made so much content. I feel like that idea.
That sounds amazing. You see, these are money ideas here. I gotta be writing these down.
I have good ideas.
Rave Mario Party.
Yeah, just a Mario Party rave with party hats. We gamble on the CPUs. Come on by. It'll be great.
Can you imagine you go down to BJJ's and and you look at all the screens, looking at all the fucking, here's the game and the bet lines, and here's the fucking poker world championship tournament, and then on some other side screen or an iPad somewhere, there's just cash games of Mario Party 3 you can bet on. That'd be crazy.
That'd be amazing.
While you get your hot wings. I'm sorry, BJJ. I'm talking about BWWs, B-dub-dubs. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buffalo Wild. Okay. I was like, oh man.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu? Is that
yeah, you're no. We're not that kind of podcast. Not yet.
I just got sponsored by Monster Energy, so we know.
Oh, sweet. There we go.
At least one of us got, hey, I'm not gonna hate. Congratulations, buddy.
Before we get into Banjo-Tooie, I want to talk to you about Nootropics. Let's talk about it.
Should I have played that?
No. Nootropics is not a video game, not yet.
Well, it can be. I'm looking at it.
That's Star Tropics.
Star Tropics is a video game.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just out of touch with the kids. I'll never be in now.
I've got these supplements. If you sleep 8 hours a day, you'll feel like you never have to sleep again.
You'll just turn really red. That's the only.
You turn really red, and you lose about $60 a month.
Sounds incredibly dangerous, but incredibly fun at the same time.
You mean pounds or no?
If you live in the UK, then yes.
Yeah. You got any Swedish viewers? Kroner?
I don't know. It's nice to be back, though.
I can't believe you got that right.
What?
Kroner. You don't remember that?
I remember I paid for Minecraft in Kroner.
Yeah. And he was
That's
like
old school.
he was making fun of like, oh, I don't remember what I paid for it. It was like 11 kroner or something. Like he was making up an imaginary Swedish word, and then we looked it up. It's like that's actually what their money's called.
Weird.
Beautiful.
It's just a fantasy country and everything.
It's just it's a fan fiction Europe.
Sweden. It's a fan fiction Europe.
It's like when you picture like what a bunch of white people across the ocean look like, you think of Sweden.
Uh-huh.
That's probably what you think it is.
Yeah, it's a future vacation spot. Unironically, I'm going to be there.
I've heard it's nice. I'd go.
Looks like a beautiful, beautiful country.
Too many Swedes.
Yeah.
Very cold.
Is it? No.
I wonder if it's actually cold, or is it just the way we imagine like Canada, but it's not actually what Canada is like.
Well, like once you get like north past like all the cities, it's pretty cold.
It's pretty cold.
So like all the cities in Canada are like right on the border.
Yeah. Like, you know how you picture Canada in your mind and it's just like a shed in the middle of like a tundra and people are ice fishing. And it's like, that's not actually
wearing plaid.
Yeah, like that's not actually what Canada is like. But if you told me that's what Canada was like with a convincing enough tone, I'd be like, yeah, probably some parts. They probably do that.
I went to Toronto a few months ago. And
oh, how's that?
There was a lot of plaid.
How was the
city?
Okay.
I believe that.
How was Drake?
He was cool. He was at the Blue Jays game I went to.
Nice.
You say hi?
He knew me.
Oh, okay. He didn't say hi.
No. He did. He was too nervous. He didn't want to. He didn't want to bother the talent. It's cool, man.
I love it. But before we hop into it, it has been a minute. Has been a lot of vacation time. So how is everybody? It's nice to be back at it.
The only video game I've played since the last time we did this is Guilty Gear Strive and Street Fighter 6. So two. So I have to remember what video games other than those are. So I'm a little nervous about that. But you know, I'm maxing and relaxing.
Chilling out.
It's good.
The chart.
I remember this chart. Jesus Christ. Oh, you know what the other thing is? I think we do this every time. I don't have the numbering system. You're gonna have to send that back to us.
the formula page. Hold on.
The formula page. The numerology.
Yeah. The numerology. I'm very sorry.
I forgot about what games we put on this.
I mean, I'm pretty. I agree with this list. Coming back to it after a while, I'm like, yeah.
Open in a browser.
Except for The Last of Us, that one's utter garbage. But besides that,
you don't like The Last of Us?
Oh,
no,
I finally
played it. So like, I finally firsthand played it. Started playing through it. Holy shit! I would have just, if I heard what scores you guys were giving, I would have just given it ones to like counteract what the fuck you guys were doing.
Oh my god!
Unironically, I would have been like, nope, I need to stop this. But then I would like have to control myself and be like, yeah, in the terms of this genre of game, it's probably one of the better ones. I just want to hate. I just hate it.
You just hate it?
Yeah, I just hate it.
You just, every time you see a white protagonist, you just start seeing red. I get you.
He's just so strong and confident. Fucking hate it, man. It's just stupid.
What if every time Ellie talked to you, instead of like using like normal speech, she had like a Banjo-Kazooie voice and was like, and then like the text appeared at the bottom of the screen and it was more like that. And then she actually went into your backpack and then she like spit eggs out of her mouth.
And you're playing a different game at that point, I feel.
Yeah, but would you like that game better?
I would adore that game infinitely better.
Well, then
the rest of it's still the same with like the order.
The rest of it's like all the.
But the rest of it's still the same. I would be like, I don't know. Like Neil Druckmann was onto something here. Like I think he just work out the kinks and we'll be there.
It's like you collect like duct tape and fucking lighter fluid and mumbo jumbo tokens. Tokens, and then like if you get enough of them, you can turn into like the little ant and crawl around the clickers undetected.
You get enough feathers and you can use the flying pad.
You just fly over all of Georgia and just
Oh my god.
Adapting that for Netflix would be hard, but
Doable. It's doable.
I love Pedro Pascal. He's such a good actor, so I think he could pull it off.
Damn.
What are we talking about today? What?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Yeah. How is everybody?
Mom was here to keep us back on track.
Okay,
But,
thank you.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Took vacation.
Mhm.
Been playing a lot of video games.
I envy you.
Playing Baldur's Gate 3, Bomb Rush, Cyberpunk.
Everyone's been raving about Baldur's Gate 3. It's like, how is it, honestly?
It's good.
It's good. I enjoy it. I've only played it multiplayer though.
Wait,
Dark
multiplayer? What?
Dark
Yeah.
Alliance.
Dark Alliance. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is like...
Oh,
It is
yeah.
not like that game.
Yeah,
No.
What? No!
Not
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Alliance. Those games are fun, but
Yeah.
I like them.
it's not Dark Alliance 3.
No, they did make a new Dark Alliance, but people
They
do not
did.
like that game. That game is very.
I forgot that happened.
Remember that thing?
Yeah.
It's just called Dark Alliance, or it's just like
Yeah.
D&D Dark Alliance, and it's people were very upset with that game.
Weird. Strange
Yeah.
that they thought they could get away with making something like that in this day and age.
I just haven't,
Yeah.
seen it. Or Dark Alliance 3. I wasn't even aware. Like, I know of Dark Alliance 1 and 2. I started playing Dark Alliance 2 because the PS2 emulator finally like updated after 75 years.
Yeah.
And I'm able to see the whole screen.
Whoa.
Yeah. But
This
yeah, Dark
technology
Alliance
is
2.
getting out of control.
Dark Alliance 2 is pretty good.
I think I've only ever played a demo of Dark Alliance
Yeah.
and then never actually played the game because I was like, this sucks. I hate top down.
And now you're playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, but it's turn based, so I'm okay with it.
It's turn based.
Oh yeah, it's very turn based. Everything you do is a dice roll,
What the fuck?
pretty much. Yeah.
So it's an RPG. Mr.
Oh.
Stat.
I guess I'll stick with Dark Alliance then.
Yeah, it's not an action RPG or whatever. Because Dark Alliance is like reminds me of Diablo, unfortunately.
Wait, what do you mean? Unfortunately, Diablo's good.
Yeah.
I don't like
It's more
Diablo
like-
either.
It is more like Diablo.
And Diablo sucks.
Who
For those
are
of you who are
people?
joining us for the first time,
RJ is doing
this,
well.
I guess podcast, I guess that's what we call it,
Yeah.
is determining if the game Skate 2 is a quote-unquote banger. And we are doing that by first ranking every other game ever by a status as a banger. And then at the end, we will determine if Skate 2 holds up with the rest of the pack.
Yep. The season finale,
So-
EA Skate 2. You just have to know. All the
season
science and
finale is
footwork has to be
actually-
put in.
The season finale is actually Skate 3. It's a cliffhanger.
That comes out.
We're gonna rate that, and it's gonna be a fucking nail biter, and so it's gonna like put some doubt in the audience.
Holy shit. Well, I guess
So
you
sit
just
tight,
got
Bang
anything to
Bros.
start.
We're gonna rate all these video games. I elect that we start calling people who watch this show the Bang Bros, because that's also a thing I've thought about since we
Bang
did
Bros?
this last.
The
Yeah, the
Bang
Bang
Bros.
Bros.
The Bang Bros? No, why?
I mean, we
The
called this
Bang Bros.
podcast Banger.
Oh,
They could be the Bang
Does
Bros.
Stat not know?
No.
I don't think he knows.
What? Listen,
dude.
I just exist professionally at this point. I don't even know
You
what I
don't.
do.
You don't exist professionally at all. I'm sorry. There's
I
nothing
just-
professional.
I exist. That's all I do. I just am.
That's up for debate, Frank. So does anyone have a game they want to toss out there?
Yeah, I was gonna start with Banjo Kazooie if no one got anything.
Oh yeah.
Let's start with
like-
Banjo Kazooie.
Well, let's start with Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah,
This
right.
is Banjo Kazooie and not Banjo Tooie, correct?
Yeah. Banjo, the regular.
I'm fine, like with whatever. I just want to make sure I'm Treasure Trove Cove and
Treasure Trove Cove and all that.
Chompers. What's the name of that crab?
the name of the crab.
Yeah, in
Clampers?
Treasure Trove Cove.
Oh, I don't remember. Did I ever tell you how this game got advertised to me?
No.
No.
The story of this. So I don't know what mailing list I got put on. I didn't have a Nintendo Power subscription as a kid. I had like I maybe got one magazine out of a newsstand like once and asked parents for it. But like for somehow, some way, they sent us a VHS tape in the mail.
Nice.
I don't have this tape anymore, and it was just a preview for Banjo-Kazooie.
What?
I'm sure if you want
right.
you
Yes,
could
you have
find
told me
it.
that.
And I remember like watching that tape multiple times, and of course it ended up with like I think a birthday or something actually getting this game. But like I remember being advertised, and like it went over like what the first couple of levels of the game are, and that is a very distinct. Like I wouldn't remember the name Treasure Trove Cove without that tape, as opposed to just because the game never. I mean, the game says no dialogue in English out loud, so. But yeah, this was one of those games. If you go on YouTube now and you look up like Nintendo VHS, like they did this for a couple games, and this was one of them.
Dora's Mask and DK64, I think.
Yeah, I think even like some super like Star Fox, like original Star Fox.
How old are you?
SNES
Nintendo
games.
Powers? Because like I was subscribed to that for a minute. I still have all my Nintendo Powers.
I was not subscribed. I was
Power started
subscribed
with
to
like Mario 3, right?
Mario 2, I think.
Okay.
That's the claymation, like
Yeah.
the clay Mario. I think by the time we were getting Nintendo Power, Nintendo didn't own Nintendo Power anymore, and it was a different publishing company
What?
handling it. Yeah, so because Nintendo used to be owned by Nintendo Power is basically a big ad for Nintendo that they ran,
Yeah.
and then I think at some point they like sold off the rights, and like just a different video game magazine or a different magazine company just produced Nintendo Power for a long time. I think that happened. I mean, sometime during the 2000s. So,
My first
Anyways.
issue is 2004, I believe, and then I was pretty much subscribed until they're like, "This is our last one, everybody. It's over," and then
Yeah.
it's like stop.
Oh,
yeah,
it
video
became a
magazine.
podcast after that.
Is there a Nintendo Power podcast?
I
think
that's
so.
yeah, kind of crazy if they did.
Is that just the podcast where those two people talked about why they're not making Melee HD?
We have Melee HD. What are they talking about?
You know what I mean.
I know, yeah, I do. Wishful
that was,
thinking.
that was an interesting. It was like why they didn't release Mother 3 or never will, and why they're not going to do Melee HD, and like Nintendo doesn't like to talk about it. and-
There is an official Nintendo Power podcast. They're all like an hour or so long.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
On
Hold
the
on.
official Nintendo website. I mean YouTube channel.
I
Oh,
also
cool.
have to admit here, if we're talking about podcasts, I said at one point that I would listen to the Hideo Kojima podcast. I have not listened to the Hideo Kojima podcast. I'm sorry.
I listened
Okay.
to some of it, and at one point he had Jordan Peele show up
What?
on the podcast because he wanted to talk about Nope, the movie.
Yeah. Okay. How'd
And,
that go?
So it's just like it's mostly Jordan like gushing over like certain characters from like MGS2, like Fortune,
Everyone loves
Oh,
Fortune.
and I forget what else he was talking about, but yeah, he was just like started to like be talking about Metal Gear 2 to Kojima. Kojima was like, "Oh, how did you make your movies, and where do you get your ideas and stuff like that?" And by that stuff, it was interesting just to like also see Kojima like gush over Jordan Peele and his work.
That's fun.
So,
I like that.
mhm. He also did like 2 different interviews with I forget his full name, Oshi, the guy who did Ghost in the Shell movies.
I want to say Mamoru Oshii, but that's not actually him. You're talking about the original movies and not the
No, God, no.
yeah,
Definitely talking about the animated movies.
the Hollywood.
Mamoru Oshii. Or
yeah,
Mamoru
Mam-
Oshii.
Mamoru.
Oshii.
Yeah, I don't want to like say the name wrong.
Yes. Anyway,
That's right,
speaking
Tablet,
of
too.
classic anime from the 90s, Banjo-Kazooie.
Perfect.
Oh,
Perfect
It's a
segue.
classic
Perfect
anime
segment.
from the month.
Classic anime.
I was trying to do a little bit of research for like effect on gaming culture because I know this is kind of getting towards the tail end. Well, I guess
Yeah.
not the tail. I guess like no, this is mid, like 1998.
This is
That's kind of
mid.
like in the middle of the season. So
Yeah.
we've already had every single game prior since Mario 64 tried to be like, I'm going to be this 3D platformer. So I could definitely see how it could be kind of be seen as like, here's another garden variety game, but like, holy shit, it's like really good at what it does.
Yeah, it's much more, it's less platformy and more like collect these things and get these abilities and do this stuff, as opposed to Mario 64, which is just a platformer.
Yeah, straight like one collectible, like one primary collectible versus like. Could you say like this is like the, I guess not the first collectathon? I'm sure there's like other people who've tried it, but like the first good collectathon.
I mean, you could almost call Donkey Kong Country a collectathon if you really wanted to, which is also like this is rare in Rare's, best state.
Yeah.
I mean, I would consider this game better than Donkey Kong 64 for what it's worth.
Absolutely. That's not even a contest. Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
And I feel, well, I think there was a problem with 64 of Donkey Kong 64 that like I think fans have since remedied for me, that I would even consider making the two like close together. Yeah, but Banjo-Kazooie has always been like it's probably like the best collectathon game on the N64, like hands down.
Yeah. In terms of these style of platformers, yes, it's a cut above the Glovers of the world.
I wasn't even thinking about Glover. Thanks for reminding me of Glover.
I think about Glover I play Glover like once every 18 months, I think, at this point in my life.
That was me when I was a child trying to figure out why this game sucks so bad.
It's not that bad.
I love the glove.
I love the glove.
I love the glove, but I also love
the glove.
Banjo-Kazooie.
I will say, insofar as relevancy, I mean, people aren't really making mascot 3D platformers.
What are you talking about?
Terribly often these days. But speaking of, when they do, Ukulele, Hat in Time, etc., I feel like they are emulating Banjo more than any other. They're not doing Mario 64 or, Glover. Yeah. It's like people are when people try and make a game that elicits games of this type from this era, they're doing specifically Banjo-Kazooie as well.
Yeah,
which is like definitely a good point. Also, like for some reason, this guy has like endeared in people's memories.
Banjo?
Like when they fucking revealed him to the public for like Ultimate, everyone just like lost their collective shit.
I was hyped.
Like everybody was hyped. You could feel the love, and it's like here's this old ass character that hasn't had a game since like 2008. Everyone's just like losing their collective ass minds. So something about him was definitely endeared to the public for sure. He's stuck.
I mean, people are still mad. Well, I don't know if people are still mad, but people were very mad about Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
I love Nuts and Bolts.
I know a lot of people like it, but like people were so mad that wasn't Banjo 3E. Like, you know, I think in terms of relevance to culture, maybe the character more than anything, but is that? Oh, right, that's the first thing. Okay, 15% max. I'm gonna rate this. I'm gonna rate effects on gaming. I'm gonna start rating all of these things out of 5 and then just converting the numbers because I think
I got you. I'm gonna go with the full 15. Like he is almost an aspect like the N64 in some way, shape, or form. Like he's brought up every single. I would wager, as a gambling man, most conversations that you would probably have about the system. Okay, so every time people try to harken back to that generation, it's like he said, pretty much like we're gonna try to like look at Banjo. Banjo is like the example. It is the thing that you look at. People, for some reason, he lingers in everyone's like collective consciousness, even to this day, that like we're actually excited that he's in games in modern times. It's not just like Banjo, like that old ass character. Like, no, it's like people are really hype about Banjo. Something about him.
I think you might overestimate how often people are talking about the Nintendo 64 then. Because like even if that is true, I feel like the N64, even from that generation, is lost in the sauce compared to the PS1.
Is Banjo in Fortnite?
No. If I were to go to work and talk to some coworkers, especially the younger ones, they would not know who Banjo is.
Really?
Hey
Yeah.
kids, you seen Banjo Kazooie?
Yeah,
How's
they'd be
that
like,
conversation
they would call me like a strange man.
A strange
Interesting.
boomer.
You take your dentures out before you start talking to them about.
Well, in my
old
day,
asking.
there was this bear. He carried around a bird in a backpack. Well, shut up,
Pretty much.
Grandma.
That's pretty much it. That's our existence today.
We had to save Tootie's life. Not even Gruntilda.
Yeah, Groot.
Game only supported 3 save slots. That was all we got. I'm gonna give this a 12 because I've rated it 4 out of 5. He's not Mario. Like, you know, this game is not Mario 64. It's not Ocarina of Time, but it is like one step down.
Which, yeah, that's
Right.
fair.
He's not in Fortnite.
He's not important.
He's not. I mean, Microsoft has owned this license for a very long time, and every time they have an opportunity to do like a collection of retro games, they put this in there. But it's not like they're making a new sequel to this anytime soon.
Yeah.
Which I agree.
They
It's
know.
just one of those sleeper things where it's like, no, like he's really popular. Like he would do well. It's just for some reason people don't do anything with him. I just don't get it.
Well, this style of game is very of an era. And I think Yooka-Laylee proved that, right? Because they put out Yooka-Laylee and cloned this game as close as they could. And people were like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's literally an animal carrying another animal in a compartment. Like, it's the same thing. And
I think everyone compared it, but they just, I don't know, a lot of their criticisms were very bad in terms of it.
yeah. But, you know, I think the proof was there that people just don't actually want a new one of these.
I don't think that's the proof. That's just like that's one game out of like how many, like versus like if I just keep pumping out this type of game, obviously people are going to buy them because they're what you're producing.
Yeah.
Oh, but
There was
oh, go ahead.
There was like another Yooka-Laylee game that came out, like the 2D sort of platformer one. I forgot the name of it, but that one is like way more well received than the first one.
It's a better game.
Yeah.
It's more like Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember playing that and being like, this is so bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say like take Hat in Time for example, which did review well, and having played it, I can attest it is a pretty damn good game. And also, it's just like whisper in the wind at this point. No one brings that one up, except to talk about the relevancy of Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. I mean, that is an indie game, whereas opposed to this is this was a tentpole release for a major console, so it's always going to have that against it. It's an indie game, and it's not one of the big... Right. It's not Hollow Knight, and it's not Dead Cells, and it's not, it's not one of those. It's not Minecraft.
I would give it a 9 based on the criteria I've set, where it's like... What was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, where it's like it's kind of it's past its prime. It has its fans. It has a Smash character, which goes a long way. And it definitely is like a classic. But it is. I mean, as you said, it's been 15 years since they last made a spin-off.
Yeah, Nintendo did the work to put this back on the Nintendo Switch Online thing. Like they got Microsoft back on the line and like got that to happen for this and GoldenEye, and like it was worth doing it for them. So I think that kind of show like they wouldn't do that for fucking Glover. Okay, they just wouldn't.
You're right. In fact, Glover got a PC release instead.
It did.
It's on Steam.
I have that version.
But,
Nice.
Yep. I think I already said my 12, right?
Yep. We're on RJ.
RJ, how
I'm landing on an 8 for old Banjo.
Damn.
He is he has his audience, mostly with us.
Yeah,
Us old
audience is
people.
me.
And he's past his prime, unfortunately.
Yeah.
and does not
What do you
have
mean
the
by
same
that?
power. Just in terms of like him being a very relevant character in today's youth. He does not last. He does not withstand the test of time for those guys. Like they're not. No one's gonna go back and go, oh, I want to play an N64 game and play Banjo. They're gonna look at it and be like, what's this ugly piece of shit game?
I mean, I wouldn't discount that, but like, there's definitely people who like, especially like in the speedrun scene, who are like, yeah, this game's old, but like it's just fun, and I enjoy speedrunning it, and like, there's a reason like Mario 64 and these types of games, like they just endure past generation to generation, just because like they're very well designed. And like, obviously the player pool isn't going to be as big because it's not the new current thing, but I think like, hey, if you do things like Switch Online, you'll see like, yay, I own a Switch. Yeah, I played Banjo. Like, I liked it. It was a good game.
If you made a list of 10 Nintendo 64 games you should play that are worth playing, this is probably on the list, right? Like, what else?
I would say it's certainly on the list. I don't know if I could list 8 other after that Mario 64 total. But
I would just say Goemon's Great Adventure, like, it has 7 other times.
That's you. So okay, this is not a joke answer, like not like a joke question, but do you think if Banjo's character in Smash was like an S tier, like big part of the meta, do you think that would make this character more relevant? Genuinely.
Or like if he was actually like if he was like more popular with the player base, like if he was actually like more adopted, you mean?
I mean, like you turned on like well, they don't run at Evo anymore, but like Genesis 8 or 10, I guess, is the next one.
Yeah.
And it's finals for this game, or like it's top 8, and like 3 players are playing Banjo. Do you think that makes this character relevant?
I mean, just relevant to that game, but like I don't think people watching it in the fighting game community who like they just understand the game would be like, I just feel like playing Banjo all of a sudden. Like I definitely don't think that watching any of the top 8s and like most of the fighting games I don't even watch, I'm just like, hey, this is like a good match.
I mean, I guess that's the difference between the character and the game, right? So I'm trying to think of like the relevance of Banjo as a character.
As a character,
you know,
it's just like for some reason, it's just like he definitely has like his foot in the door with like at least some portion of the population who are just like they're pretty hyped for him, and it's just like. It's just because they really like this game. They just have this strange attachment. Like, yeah, like this game was great. It's really weird that like we only got 2 of them.
Yeah.
That's how we get 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they. Yeah. It's like it's really weird. We only got 2 of them, and I'm like, yeah, you harlots ignoring nuts and bolts. And yeah.
I mean, the file Banjo-Kazooie Revival.ppt has been created and deleted several times in different Microsoft game studios computers. Like people have definitely tried to put together a pitch to like do another Banjo, and it's been shot down for a number of reasons. Because
Phil Spencer will greenlight anything. So that really...
At this point, like if you are enthusiastic enough, and we'll make him a shirt with the character on it for him to wear, he will do it. He will.
Where's my next Conker?
Remember Young Conker?
Yeah, Young Conker. What about Young Conker? That never came out.
That never did come out. I feel comfortable with my 12. I think he's.
Yeah, I think because like thinking from the perspective of someone who did not grow up with an N64, which I did, but like when I think of like, okay, he's a Smash character, just tons of people, and for the longest time, to me, Samus was just a Smash character because I didn't have a Super Nintendo, so I never played Super Metroid. And like, and if the last game Samus was in was Super Metroid, and still didn't have it, like they never made Metroid Prime or all the games they've made since to this day, then like Samus would be where Banjo is now, where
I feel that
has her fans, has her rabid fans, but like we would. No, and like except that like all of us are like hardcore enough gamers to have been like, okay, what are like the best SNES games? And Super Metroid's always going to be on. So we might have played Super Metroid, but like your average like gamer might not. And so that's why, to me, Banjo is like, I mean, 9 is still above average on this ranking, but he's not Cloud from Final Fantasy or Ezio or someone who's more relevant to more people.
No, I feel it. He's talked me down from a 15 to a 14.
Could you imagine if they like Rare came out and was like, we're doing a multi-part Banjo-Kazooie remake, reimagining like Final Fantasy VII. Just like very like dark, brooding, not brooding, but like super serious, like high fidelity cutscenes, but it's just like
each level is one
sick.
game.
Yeah.
Holy shit, now I want that.
I would love that. For some reason, I don't know why.
The ending of this game, like Kazooie dies, but he comes back to life because of like the concept of fate and time. He's not allowed to die.
Banjo-Kazooie Retrograde Treasure Trove Cove.
Oh my god. Make that game. Phil Spencer. Greenlight that.
Hugh brought up a good point. There's a GBA game.
There's a GBA.
But no, he was just talking about the point of like, yeah, like imagine if there wasn't all these games that came out after and they just stopped for some reason. But then like, I guess that's more a testament like, wow, like for some reason Samus stuck around in the cultural zeitgeist despite the fact she didn't have any games, which is kind of weird. So like that's reflects kind of positively, but at the same time, yeah, nobody wanted to make the game, not even like any indie studios, but then the indie studios might have not had the rights to touch it and it might be locked up type deal. Maybe people do want to make the game, but then they're just like, yeah, Banjo's tied up to Microsoft, we can't touch it, they don't want us to touch it type deal sort of thing.
I mean, this is on the level of like, if they did try to do a revival either through an internal studio or like you said, like an indie, they licensed it out, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, I can't believe they've done this. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, there's an argument to be made for it. It's like, it's certainly okay. Banjo is certainly more recognizable than the fucking Battletoads, and they did it for the Battletoads. Remember? They made another Battletoads. They did it.
They're in a fighting game too,
and it's not good. And then they put him in Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Banjo in Smash is much more relevant than Rash in Killer Instinct. Like a lot more relevant.
Right.
Unless you're a Killer Instinct guy, which I'm sorry. It's been rough to be for Killer Instinct fans. It's been a hard 5 years.
I mean, it might be fortunate for him because like look what happened to Crash and Spyro, and they're like, damn, we have to like keep making these, and they just went really off course, and they just became these random ass. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Bar, like,
they put him in Diddy Kong Racing.
Versus like Banjo sort of dodged that bullet. He's like, yep, I just have these really solid, I have 2 really solid games. One that people are kind of split on, but it's still really solid. And then it's just, no one kept fucking with him. So he's just, the general attitude towards it, it's like, yeah, I like Banjo.
But he didn't get the Star Wars prequel treatment.
Damn, you know, like a lot of different things. Yeah, I definitely like. I think Jim did. He talked me out of a 15, but like, yeah, it's just something about him. Like, why do even now it's like Banjo is still remembered at all? Like, there's so many characters of this ilk from this generation that have just like they had solid games, but they slipped through the cracks. Nobody cares about.
No one's talking about Gomon anymore.
Yeah, like who cares about Gomon?
Japan is. That's a very Japanese franchise that had a couple of ports of those games to the US, but like that's a pretty well-known manga character, I think.
No one's talking about Turok these days.
Yeah, Turok slipped through the cracks,
just,
and it's just
like, came out.
What?
Again. Turok 3 just came out again.
Yeah.
Night Dive did a port of Turok 3, yeah.
Holy shit.
No. And the Night Dive port of Turok 1 is surprisingly like competent. I mean, it's still Turok 1, but you play it on a PC and you're like, yeah, I guess so. Like, I guess this is what Turok was.
Yeah, like, I think the other one that shares his spot is honestly, like, Conker. Yeah, like, he's the only other one that's just like, you know, like, they made this kind of solid game. Really weird, they just haven't touched him, but I have a general positive opinion about him, but he's like, I don't think people would get as hype over Conker versus Banjo.
Yeah.
I think Conker is a level below Banjo.
Yeah, he's
I think
definitely like a
Conker's
step below.
yeah.
He's like he's in that range, but yeah, like but easily Banjo is like the more people still come back and play this. Like this is still like a popular game. It survives through the generations. It's not going to be the premier game, obviously. It's old, but like people still who are like Gen Z will be like, yeah, I'll come back and speedrun
This scene
this. Yeah,
scared
this
the
is cool.
shit out of me when I was a kid. Oh my god.
The fucking clanker.
Yeah, just the way this thing moved. Oh my god, this was terrifying.
And you're like, are you gonna kill me? And he's like, no.
Yeah. Oh my, it's so big. Like the sense of scale on this, like, cats off to him for like pulling this off on a Nintendo 64 of all things. But like, Jesus.
And you don't even have like Fog of War on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
What?
Like, various moments in video games. You know, the zombie popping out of the window in Resident Evil 1, fucking whatever in Amnesia, PT, and then this. Like, Jesus Christ, this fucking thing. Anyways, what's our score for this first category for this first game?
I'm gonna follow my pattern of not revealing anything and just moving along. So now we're on controls.
Controls.
Yep, which this is very sharp. Like this is literally still the template for like we want to make a 3D platformer. Let's look at this game. What were they doing?
The only thing is that this is a N64 single stick game.
Yeah.
Like
use
the camera.
and the camera.
Yeah, the camera for sure.
Like,
but like Banjo himself is like, nope, don't touch it. Do not change a thing.
This game has a lot of like hit down and C left in order to activate this ability. Like they had to get very into like you need to hold this and do this in order to make Kazooie.
I mean, Z and the C button. That's about it.
Yeah, this game has a few. And also just because you have so many different abilities, like all the different pads and all the different things, you can get a little bit lost in the sauce. But it's not too bad.
I feel like the pads were there to like let you know
you're supposed to do the thing.
You're supposed to use this move specifically.
Yeah.
Have you all played the Xbox or the Switch ports?
I have not played the Xbox port or the Switch port.
I'm gonna do the Switch port. Crap, I'm not paying Nintendo for this shit.
Because I just wonder if they like implemented like a more of a traditional twin stick. I guess not traditional, but more of a modernized twin stick system.
I don't
think
they did.
At this point, I would call it traditional. Like, yeah, like this is just a traditional camera. That's what I would do.
Right. Yeah. This is the tradition, but I meant like
a modern.
But yeah, like did it just make it a regular camera? Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing Banjo swim and like turning his body, and then you pan the camera around later. I'm like, I remember this. I'm not sure I'd want to bother too much with this.
Yeah. Okay,
is that like the main gripe? The main gripe is just like the camera with everybody, right? That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a lot of old 3D platformers had the same camera problems of you not having full control over the camera, and you have like stop to turn the camera around.
But like, this is also in a world of like Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time, which kind of solve this problem a little bit better. Like this game does not have targeting. This game does not have, you know, as smooth of operation on the camera. Like the camera pans around you in a very, like Jim was mentioning with the swimming, kind of a slower pace. Yeah, the swimming in this game is not great.
Also, earlier fighting the monkey shooting the eggs, I definitely remember, and he even did it where it's like you miss the first few volleys, so then you like slightly adjust your guy so you can hit him. It's another thing where it's like
tracer fire.
Yeah, I think that's why 2 for sure added that
that aiming thing,
the first person shooting
thing to just like try to rectify it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like like that PC port of Mario where it's just like here's a regular camera, and I'm like that infinitely improved everything. Like that was really like the missing piece. It's probably like the same for this one. Like if you just had the regular camera that everybody expects, that's honestly like, yep, I really wouldn't touch anything else. Like, that would just be kind of like nitpicking at that point.
Is that a 25?
No, like for me, that's like a 20, where I just have, there's no technical issues, the controls are fine, but like the camera or something or other is like a little bit off, but you just can't correct it.
I'm giving this a 21, because I gave it a 20 and then said like, it's a little bit better than 4 out of 5.
All right.
21 is where I'm going.
It's a good score. I think I'll hop on the 21 bandwagon.
21 bandwagon, cool.
I'll bandwagon to 21.
Okay.
If this was Glover, I'd be a lot lower.
I take it you want to talk about Glover?
I don't actually.
Glover is some shit. Goddamn.
Just because you gotta love the glove doesn't mean I do.
This doesn't mean you have to want to love the glove.
I love the glove. The glove is life. The glove is love. System utilization, eh? Which...
How well does the game system work?
I mean, bottles, I guess bottles will tell you everything. The pads are pretty... A big, giant-ass red flag. I'm like, here's what you do here. I do like that... What were some of the puzzles that they were just kind of obvious? I remember, like, there were some weird ones, like in, like, Mad Monster Mansion. I remember, like, you could just go down one of the toilets or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to remember, like, did anybody implicate that? Or, like, was that just, like, something you tried type deal?
There's a lot of things that you have to just
tells
kind of know in this game. Sorry, I cut you off.
I was gonna say, I think someone tells you to like go down the toilet because I don't remember going down the toilet by myself. Like, I feel like someone's gonna like mention it in game.
Like, I cannot recall going like, damn, I need a guide to Banjo-Kazooie. I'm just like, no, I just sort of played it. I just played it, and I 100%ed the areas.
I think I will give this full marks because I probably played this game when I was 8, before I could read very well. I mean, we could read pretty good at 8, but like, you know, not amazing. And I was able to like play this game, no problem. Which back when I was a kid, I was not great at very many games in general, but I never had any issues with Banjo-Kazooie, which I think is a testament to something.
And given how much more complex it is versus just like herder, get the star, and then leave, like there's so much more to do. There's so much more to find, and like it just still operates that way. It's like, yeah, like you added more, and it's still pretty straightforward.
You know how many Jinjos you still need? You pick one up.
Yeah, like it's just you don't think about it, you just do it, and I think that's like pointing to the direction of like, yep, you did it right. Whatever you were doing, you did it right because I don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You
don't have access to moves until you use certain pads, so it's like you never have to like worry about certain moves like flying.
You told me the rules in the tutorial, and you didn't change them. You just sort of kept doing them, and you just added different challenges along the way. Like it's simple, straightforward. Like I can't find fault with it in terms of like communicating what you should be doing.
I may be belying some of my childhood intelligence, maybe even my current intelligence, but I don't actually share that experience of being able to just get it all. As a kid, there were definitely some shit that like I was like, I don't know what you do with this thing. Like I don't like there are some puzzle piece left in this mission that I have no idea. I have roamed around, I've gotten all the Jinjos, or I'm like missing one of the Jinjos, and I have no idea where the last one is.
Is it just finding it though? Like is it
it's a lot of like finding stuff
where they hit it versus like what you should be doing type deal? Because you know what you should be doing versus like I just can't find it.
I think a lot of it is like a hidden stuff that I just never found, or I was not good at finding things in games, and this era of games has a lot of like find the thing, and it was just there were a couple of like weirder, more obscure things, like the thing we were just watching where you're like shooting Clanker's teeth with the eggs. I didn't even know you could do that. I did not know about that at all. Like this game, I don't think I've ever finished this game because I think at some point I just like ran out of puzzle pieces that I could actually get. because I just couldn't do it. I'm sure if I picked it up today, I'd be like, oh, this is very obvious and signposted. I'm just a dumb child. But there's a little bit of this game that is not as... Like, it's not perfectly signposted because, again, it does ask you to, like, find some stuff. I will...
But wouldn't that be more an issue
think
of, like, where it's hidden versus, like, what you should...
Yeah.
Like, versus, like, what you should be doing versus, like, actually doing it type deal?
Yeah, like, the mechanics of the game make perfect sense. The controls made perfect sense. Like, how to do everything made perfect sense. But it'd be like, oh, you go here and when you step on this switch, this other thing activates and you have to go over to that or something like that. Those things made less sense to me as a child. Like object permanence, you need to have a good sense of that in order for this game to make sense. Because these maps are bigger, or these levels are bigger than like a Mario 64 level.
Oh, absolutely.
I still think it like uses its mechanics fairly well. Like I'm not trying to be like, oh, this game stinks. But I'm trying to do the math for... I feel like I'm giving a lot of this game just like a 4 out of 5 in every category and then adjusting down or up 1 depending on how I feel. That's basically how I feel about this game, is that it's for the Nintendo 64, it's like a 4 out of 5 plus. It's like a 4.5 out of 5. It's not the best, but it's very solid. 20 so I multiply this by 5, I get 6, wait, that's not right. I'm dumb as fuck. What the fuck am I doing? Oh no, system utilization is at a 20%. Okay, 20%. Okay. So, multiplied the wrong thing. I'm gonna give this a 17.
All right.
Bob Barker died.
Bob,
what?
What?
Yeah.
What a random ass Bob Barker's dead.
Oh my god.
He was 99. So.
Oh, okay,
99.
well, yeah, good for you, I guess.
He hasn't been the host for a very long time.
Yeah. That's it, Jim Carrey. Your time's come.
Jesus
Not
Christ.
Jim Carrey. Drew Carey.
Drew Carey.
Jim
Carrey.
All right,
did a
Jim
bunch of
Carrey.
drugs.
Your time is up, Pinhead. Your time is up. Oh my lord. What
Smoking.
RJ? That's not Layden, I believe.
I
This
think,
is for
what's your system utilization?
Yeah.
Yes, probably I guess 17. I feel.
Really? Why so?
Mostly just for. I guess it's a sign of the times, because having to like use the pads to actually like force you to like do a thing, I feel like is like kind of limiting. And in terms of like game design, like I see why I did it and it works, but like nowadays I feel like having access to like all your moves and being able to use everything without having like rely on like what is it? What am I trying to say? Context sensitive buttons.
What? Wait. Well, I guess what are you talking
So,
about?
like,
How the moves
the
are
pads-
accessed, or?
For like the pads and stuff, it's all context sensitive stuff where like you won't do a thing unless you're standing on this pad.
On the pad. Okay.
Yeah, and like modern game design now, like we've been able to move past having to stand on pads to activate a move. Sometimes you're able to just do it most of the time. Like I'm thinking of like Breath of the Wild stuff. You just always have access to that stuff, to like your abilities once you unlock them.
I guess
And,
ukulele would be a good comparison for you, because like once you get flying in ukulele, you can just fly.
Yeah,
And then that
Yeah.
just sort of demonstrated like, well, I guess we just negated all of the platforming because you can just fly past it.
mm-hmm.
I
So
definitely
to
see
me, I
why
feel
they
like
did it.
it's like a I'm like comparing this to like a more like modern take on gaming, and that's why I feel like it like loses like a few points because of that to me. But otherwise, I think it's it's a good compromise for what they did. Or like I think in Morrowind,
the
for
high
instance,
jump.
you could fly.
Maybe not flight necessarily, but like I would give you the high jump. Like, yeah, I think letting Banjo jump like a fixed extra distance wouldn't be too harmful. Like you could probably design around that, but just like Banjo can fly now, sort of thing would be like, okay, oh,
Yeah.
we've gone too far.
I mean, at some point, you're not making a Metroidvania. Like, you're not trying to do that. So I get why they did what they did, but that's fair. It's kind of like the pads are like the precursors to like press X to use. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like they didn't have that back then, so like this is what they came up with, and it's an okay compromise.
It works. Like compared
works.
to like press X to use, that stuff is usually like opening up a door or some shit.
Yeah.
I would almost argue though that the pads added to the legibility, for lack of a better word. It's like when I'm 8 years old, I'm not thinking of trying to high jump everywhere just to see if there's something up here. But when I see the high jump pad, it's like, okay, I got a high jump around here. That means there's something above me. Then same with the flying. For the golden feather isn't a pad, right? That's just like a movie.
No, you can just use that.
Yeah, that's just a movie.
Okay.
But then, like, should you always be looking around in these types of games to see like where you can? Like, yeah, like this moment right here. Like, if that pad wasn't there, I guess the camera system, like, no one wants to stop and use the first-person camera to look up and be like, oh, there's like some ledges here. They just wouldn't do that. Versus, like, I think if you had the modern camera and you're just like always kind of it's so easy to just pan around and look up and down type deal. Maybe they probably would have been like, yeah, we don't need to have the pad. But like with this camera system, that might have been like the, well, shit, how did we like
compromise?
Like, how do we communicate that? Which in that case, like, good on you, because like I don't even think about this type of shit. Like, yeah, like would I have found this stuff if that pad wasn't there? Like, yeah, I really didn't even think about that till like Jim brought it up. But like, yeah, like,
I don't think
I
the
would.
camera was not pointing up there. Like you literally have to use the pad to even know it's there.
Yeah, versus like, yeah, if it's like a regular game, I'm looking around all the time. Like, I absolutely would have like just been like looking up and around, but like here where I can't, the pad is like a great indication of like, hey, there's some shit. And you just don't even think. I don't have to think about it. It's just like I'll just do it. Here's the shit.
Yeah. You did not need a strategy guide to play this game.
Yeah, like
that's what I said before. And I think if you didn't have some of that stuff, you probably would have.
Which, I will say, the sequel is not. That's not the case. I think the sequel, like a strategy guide, is how you see everything.
Yeah.
Because those levels are so just crazy big. Where with this game, everything is more tightly put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know Kazooie could be a dragon. But I think it was told, but like, oh my god, there's just Banjo-Tooie. I just still haven't beaten.
Banjo-Tooie is a monumental game, but it comes with some restrictions.
Never thought of it as a monumental game, but I guess
big ass game.
Yeah.
All
The
right,
Sims,
so
No Man's
RJ's...
Sky, Banjo-Tooie. World of Warcraft.
Banjo-Tooie.
Sid Meier's Pirates.
What? Sid Meier's Pirates?
Hell yeah.
That's a big game. It's a monumental game.
Monumental game. Huge, did so much for us.
Are you stuck on 17, RJ? Because if so, we're good. You can.
Yes, I didn't even remember everyone else's scores and stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm just typing them out as people say them.
Mine was
but
17.
Convey information, eh? Which, like, yeah, Jim just like that whole pad point just kind of made me go like, you know what? Like, they really are thinking about a lot of shit that I'm not, and just how easily I went through it is just like a great testament to like how they're doing that. Like, yeah, full marks. Like, I didn't need any instructions. The game was the instruction. Absolutely.
I agree.
I'd say 8.
Yeah, like, can't argue with that. I guess if Ryan is an 8, are we all 8s? Like, I know you have like the issue of like I can't find everything, but in terms of just like, you know, at least you're not running in Banjo going like, do I need to find the NPC? You're like, I know I'm missing this. I know I'm missing that. I should be trying to find these specific things.
I feel like there's just like it's not what I'm looking for. It's like a color depth issue for me of like sometimes things just get lost in the background of this game because it's a very muddy Nintendo 64 game. Like there's some levels like the swamp. I remember just being like, what the fuck am I looking at? And that's a problem for this. Like that's why I don't consider this to be one of the better looking Nintendo 64 games. Not because of its like graphics, but because of it's just like there are certain things it doesn't actually like. Oh, do I need to be on Kazooie to go up this hill, or can I just walk up it like a normal, or like can I stuff
Can I
like
walk
that.
up there like a normal?
Like, can I just walk up there like normal, or do I need like to walk on
them dancers'
Kazooie?
legs.
You know? Yeah, exactly. Without the dance, there's just a few too many things where I'm just like, I don't know what this what I'm supposed to do on this platform. I don't know how to get to the next one. And I think the game was designed intentionally that way. It's just maybe this is not really the place for this. Maybe it's more target visuals is what this is, where I would not give it a knock. But I'll give this full points.
I will say, yeah, speaking on the visuals, yeah, because like I remember Treasure Trove because it's a beach. I remember Freeze Easy because it's snow. I remember the desert because it's Egyptian desert. I remember the haunted house. And then the rest are kind of brown woods. They're like gross swamps.
Yeah.
I think we're on sound design?
Sound design.
We're on sound design. That's, I mean, I have your stream on YouTube muted, and earlier, Banjo like fell off a far distance and crashed on the ground and lost some honeycombs. And in my head, I could hear the ow
Yeah.
that he makes me land. And that plus the wah and Grant Kirkhope's like incredible posing.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there's anything this game has as a strength, if you had to pick one thing, its sound design, its music, would be it.
There's a lot of nostalgia speaking in this category. Sound is one of those things that it's hard to avoid that with.
There's definitely like some of like that Star Fox Adventures isms I'm hearing in here. Where it's like there's some sound effects where I'm like, I know where you got these.
This is a library.
Even right now, it's like I know where this came from. But
A lot of
it's
games back
not
then had
as
those.
bad as Star Fox Adventures. Like definitely not. But
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Star Fox, that you're like my benchmark for like bad sound design.
Oh, you don't like the fire effects? You don't like, fireball effect, O2.wave, and fucking Star Fox Adventures?
Because yeah, like him grabbing the notes is original. The feathers are original. Some like I'm hearing like a lot of you definitely put the time to do your own folly in there, but then like that's some of like those throwing snowballs and him hitting the snowmen are just like, come on guys, you're better than this.
Uh-huh. Help! Help!
Definitely very unique to like solve the issue of like how do we do voice acting with the limited space that we have, despite the fact we're also the company that had Conquer and then figured out voice acting in full. Of like just like the little, yeah, like the vocals are very charming as well. Like it's very clever.
I think if it's either this game or Animal Crossing you're referencing, if you're talking about the like effect of a character talks and they just make a sound. You know what I mean? Like if you reference that idea, you're either just like, oh, you're doing like Banjo-Kazooie dialogue or like Animal Crossing dialogue, because it became kind of like that effect kind of became synonymous with this game, and I think that's relevant. I also, because I just pulled up a little bit of the soundtrack, this game has like good theming through its instrumentation. By that I mean like the synthesizers that they're using, basically the plugins that they're using. They're themed in a way where like there's it's not just a bunch of it's not just like a bunch of songs that they put in the game. There's like a lot of connectivity between like what instruments they use.
Yes.
And it gives it like a strong sense of like identity, which I mean, there's so much nostalgia talking to me with this game, but
no, it's no games do that. Like how many games where it's like, yeah, there's the above land soundtrack, the underwater soundtrack where we're gonna change the instrumentation based on what you're doing. Hey, you're in this little children's room. We're gonna change the instrumentation. Like, nope.
Yeah.
Very few games, even to this day, do that.
When you I mean, this is more common in games today, but like, I forgot what is the pirate level again called? Pirate Trove Cove?
Treasure
Cove. I'm the one who brought it up. When you like fly up high enough and the music actually fades out because you're too high up, that's such a like. Games did not do that. Like Mario 64 doesn't fucking do that. So yeah, I'll give it full points on this. It is
very strong.
For the time, it's very impressive.
Like I played a lot of N64 games, and watching this, I can hear the music, I can hear the feather sound, I can hear the ekum bokum, I can hear the jiggy when he gets the jiggy. I can just like I can hear. I remember so much of this game, and there's like I don't remember what All-Star Baseball 1999 sounded like. You know, NFL Quarterback Club.
The Packers versus...
he's doing this little mini game, and the instrumentation has changed in sync with like the main theme, and it's just like he pretty much just composed another part of like the main theme for this little mini game that you're gonna play for like a minute and never hear again. And he just that's what it does.
Yeah.
Like
I think like this stands out. Even like I played Sly Cooper, 1 probably a decade ago, and it's not like exactly this kind of game, but it's in the same kind of thing. You get the Thievius Raccoonus, and then he does a little dance, and then you move on to the next Thievius Raccoonus you're trying to grab or whatever. And I don't remember any of the sound effects. I don't remember any of the music. I don't remember any of that, but I remember a lot of this. And Sly's got a lot of good style, and I'm sure it sounded good, but I don't think it's 100% blind nostalgia.
Yeah,
No.
I think we're on the same page. Yeah, me and Jim are 5s, 100%.
Yeah, I think you include me there too.
Yep.
I'm listening to Treasure Trove Cove now, and I'm just like, oh fuck, man.
Grant
This game-
Kirkhope, that dude knew what he was doing.
That man
well
gave me
does.
an appreciation of steel drums that I would not have today if it weren't for this game.
RJ and I were talking because he's a big Ape Escape guy. He grew up with that. And talking about how a lot of his appreciation for music probably stems from that soundtrack. And he making that point about the steel drum thing is just like, yeah, I bet you there's a lot of pieces of music I like more because it somewhat elicited from
Banjo Kazooie, yeah.
Banjo. Yeah.
Banjo Kazooie is my Little Mermaid. I don't care. Yeah, I'll give full points on that.
Cool. I think we're
Grant Kirkhope,
targeting
the goat.
targeting visuals. Okay, now we can. Which I'm like, nuts and bolts is probably your closest. I know like the design of Banjo isn't like a line, but like look at the world around him. This is an Xbox 360 game that looks like a PS4 game. Like y'all are on some shit.
Yeah, but this is nuts and bolts.
I know. I'm gonna probably on like a 3. This is one of the stronger N64 games. So Jesus Christ, yeah.
I think the point that Jim made earlier, that like some of these levels are very distinct and colorful and like look great, and then some of them are like swamps.
Right.
Like that some of them are just like green and brown and gray, and like that's my problem with the visual design of this game, is that I remember getting to a place, looking at this now, not on a CRT television though. Like actually, if you want a reference point, maybe a better one would be like the Xbox Live Arcade re-release, like the modern re-release.
Yeah.
That is, high. They did do some work to like redo the textures. It's not just like emulation.
Let me track it down.
And I bet that version pops a lot better than the original. But yeah, there's definitely some stuff where you're like in the water and like the fog starts to set in, and you're just like, what am I looking at right now?
Speaking of scary, talking about the water, that fucking shark.
The shark.
Trove Cove.
Yeah.
That gave me anxiety all the time. I hated going in the water.
Yeah, same. You can see it's a little sharper.
Do you guys was this the thing that like this puzzle? Did this also was supposed to be used for the stop and swap?
Yes.
Was it the name puzzle?
Maybe?
Yeah, I don't know the exact details of what that was, or like what it is, or like, but I know that yes, there's the stop and swap thing.
Mm-hmm.
That little room that they were in and hitting the notes, that's what that was for. There's some separate puzzle piece you get there because they took it out, but
Mm-hmm.
you know. I want to target visuals is out of 5. I want to give it a 4.
I think I would as well. I think there's enough, like a golden jigsaw puzzle piece, like is like iconic imagery in my head, even though it's probably not really. But there's so much of this game that I do remember visually, but also like, yeah, it's not perfect.
I mean, that's every N64 game for sure. Like, it's definitely like more than any other generation, I would say. Like, you would have to be really, really on point with your art style to try to make the power of this system work for you.
Like, I'm trying to actually think of an N64 game that I might give a 5.
Sin and Punishment.
Probably like Sin and Punishment.
Yeah, it has a very distinct style. It has a very distinctive art style. Like it's very linear and on rails, so it's moving your head at exactly what it wants you to look at. So that helps a lot. There's not a lot of draw distance they have to worry about. But in terms of like its own style that it conveys perfectly, yeah, like that's my fucking choice.
I guess Paper Mario might be
Paper Mario, also a good one.
Be like a close second until that was me probably like until I saw like the Wii U and or Switch versions of it. I'm like, yeah, this is the art style like realized in full. Yeah. This is what they were absolutely going for.
Or like Crystal Shards has a very
Crystal Shards is so it's
a really good look.
Pretty good.
We haven't talked about Crystal Shards yet, huh?
No, we haven't. No.
Keep that.
I need to go back and replay this game that we're looking at so I can bring it up. This game is this is like a top 3 Nintendo 64 game. It's
that one's on the on that.
It is.
Switch store, yeah.
They knew they had to do it.
Otherwise, what's the point?
The Thinking Man's Star Fox 64.
I've only played the sequel, which I remember being very good. But I've heard this is better. Or at least as good.
It's different.
Okay.
It's the original is definitely worth playing. It's also like 2 hours long, but like
Not is everybody else a 4?
I'm a 4.
Or is I didn't get RJ's score quite.
I probably get a 4 for this.
Alrighty. I'm keeping my big mouth shut as we move on to the sum of its parts, which full marks. I'm not even gonna talk about it. It's just you did it. You compromised so well. You knew what you couldn't do, and you designed around it to the point where children can just have fun 100%ing the game, not bitching about it. So yeah,
this was my favorite game when I was a kid for a long, long time. So even if it's just nostalgia speaking, I would also give it full marks.
I'm in the same boat. I would give it full marks. I only rented this game. I never owned it.
I need to do some math real fast. Hold on.
Quick math.
Okay. If I want to give it that, then I divide.
Carry the 1.
You multiply everything by.
Ryan, when you're doing your math, keep in mind that sometimes when you die, Gruntilda takes 2D's body and turns himself into sexy Gruntilda.
I know that.
Or like a 5-year-old bear or some shit. Like, how old are you 2? What the fuck?
Well, you take the average of their age, and I mean,
oh my god.
I'm gonna round up and give this a 6.
No problem. I
think
should
that's
probably
a fair
have
roundup.
Excel start counting this. You know what? I can have Excel start counting this. I'll work on that later. All right, now for the fun factor which is obviously a full from me. I definitely say Banjo-Kazooie. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yep.
It's just, yeah, Banjo-Kazooie. Fuck yeah. Like, absolutely.
Great game.
It's not a one I would definitely want to replay.
People are still chasing the dragon. I'm trying to match it here and there.
Yeah, honestly, it's been hard. It's not a thing that's been easy to replicate. Take ukulele.
Yeah, the guys who made it can't even.
They can't do it again.
Can't even catch themselves.
I think we'll just give. I think ukulele gets a little harder than it should.
It does.
Like it's, guys, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's not as special, but it's What is the story of this game?
In which case, like, yeah, my metric is like, if it is not the focus, you're trying to focus on this game, then I'm pretty much going to disregard, give it full marks. You just needed a catalyst to get Banjo to run around these colorful worlds. It's clear it's not the main focus. We don't pause for cutscene. Very, like, it is a percentage of the game where we even, like, care about, like, the whole plot. It's just, you know, Gruntilla's gonna do something bad to your family member, save them. Cool, I'll do it. So yeah,
the story is pretty much irrelevant. There are a lot of characters, surprisingly, and like Banjo is cool and Kazooie is cool and Bottles is fine. There's then you get to like, I'm Bucket, the talking bucket, bucket, and like he's kind of less interesting to me.
Look,
so I'm gonna knock at 1 point. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 6.
Look, the fact that every object you collect is alive in some way, is amazing. I love it. Especially remember in Conquer, you collect money that talks to you and it says, "Hey, I'm money.
You want some of that green stuff?"
Yeah. So just like everything's a character. Everything.
Yeah.
Which is
Gruntilda
very
rhymed.
Gruntilda rhymed. She spits on fire.
Gruntilda is an aspiring battle rapper.
One of the final encounters is a trivia contest.
People hate on it, but you know what? I find that very endearing. Just like after all this, like trivia, and I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
What we're doing? Oh. How are you even paying attention?
Even like characters like Mumbo Jumbo have like, or whatever his fucking name is, have maintained in like consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people. Like, if there's a sound effect I remember from this game, it's Ekum Bokum. Like everyone remembers fucking Ekum Bokum. When that fucking VTuber said Ekum Bokum, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's great, she's saying Ekum Bokum." That
VTuber? What?
That VTuber.
I don't know who he's referring. That could be anybody.
You never seen the clip of
No, Ryan! I go to work, I go home, and I make shitty fucking AI cartoons! That's my life!
Okay, you don't have to yell, okay? I'm sending it to you, okay?
That I've not watched any of those since the one you sent me, and don't plan to watch more. But
that's
every time Pitch shows up, does he go, yeah, before actually saying anything? Because if not, then I'm not watching him ever.
I guess we'll never watch him again. That's fine. That's I figured Jim wouldn't be a fan, but holy shit, they're fun to make. So I'm gonna keep doing.
Oh, I bet. But also, like if he doesn't say yeah, and then like actually start saying his dialogue about how Palutena needs to like pay her taxes, then
wait,
Palutena needs to pay her taxes. You guys have never. I'm sending this to you. You've never seen this.
Seen
I guess I'm trending in different fucking discords than you guys are. Maybe this is maybe this is a me thing.
Hold on, everybody, we gotta stop. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this together.
You wanna watch this?
Hold on. Let me.
Quick intermission.
Quick intermission for Corona Inugami.
For who?
This is the fucking VTuber. Who played this thing on Steam?
I've seen her before.
All right.
Don't give me that. I've never seen this person before.
I've never seen this person before.
I have seen her.
You've seen this before.
No, I've never seen this person before.
But not
once in my life.
I think she has a Sonic. outfit.
I want to die. Just put me down. I don't know. I don't know who you are, but I'm done.
So this is a dog woman.
This is a dog woman. How
Has
are
this
you
dog
so
woman
deep?
played a dog's life on the PS2?
I told you. I wake
have no
up. I
idea.
go to Wendy's. I flip some patties. I go home. I make a shitty cartoon. I go to bed. I rinse and repeat. That's what I do.
How are you this deep in like the Smash Ultimate community and not know what this is?
What do you mean?
I feel like
Is she relevant to Smash?
I think she's relevant to Smashers. I think if you went to a Smash logo and said like, "Have you seen this dog before?" They'd be like, "Yes." I think
I've
yes.
lost my dog.
Dog.
I've lost my dog. Can you help me find her?
Nope. Last Smash
She's
logo.
on,
for anime
she's on
character.
YouTube, apparently.
She's on YouTube.
A lot of people are on YouTube.
Yeah, but this
You're
dog
on YouTube.
So very many
We're
people
on YouTube right
are
now.
on
Hello,
YouTube. It
This
is such a
dog does-
common thing now where it's like it's almost like, oh, you're not on YouTube. Okay. Like we've reached that point where like random
Wait.
people I work with are like, yeah, dude, I stream to YouTube. And I'm like, okay. I guess
You're on
that's the thing.
YouTube?
Whoa. No, this is
We're
Discord.
on YouTube.
We're talking just kind of
We're
private.
just on
Okay,
Discord
Yeah.
Okay.
talking
I thought
about
I'd have to say
Banjo-Kazooie for
Ekamboga.
an hour and a half.
Speaking of which,
Ekamboga.
is my stream coming through clear to you guys? I want to make sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Look, Sunky Door.
Yeah, looks
I
good
swear to
me.
God, dude, like that better Discord fix my shit. Very, very good.
Well, apparently against the terms of service, so like,
Well,
be careful.
fuck them. If I go down, I go down.
You're paying them, I guess. They probably
Yeah, I am paying them for Nitro, so
turn away their $20 a month.
yeah.
So we're on for its time, right?
I
That's
think
all
so?
that's left.
Oh
Did
shit.
we get everyone's score for everything else? I think for its time, it's an easy 3 for me because like
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah, dude, it's
100%.
crazy.
not
I
even
said
a question.
I said that story is 5 out of 6, right?
Yes.
I made my argument around.
And then we start talking about Anime Girl.
Wait a minute.
And maybe-
I don't have
Welcome.
Jim's. I don't have Jim's score at all.
For story.
Yeah, I'll go with a 5, just because like it's not like a real story, but it's not nothing either. Like it's not like save the princess. It's like, oh, you gotta meet Blubbers and get him his confidence back so that he'll pirate his ship.
Yeah, that's
So it's
right. You
very
do that.
very creative. But it's also like it's like the best N64 story, I guess, for what little that's worth. Oh, okay, sorry.
best
Diddy Kong
N64
64's plot.
There is no Diddy Kong 64.
RJ
Diddy
the
Kong
Blast Core
64's
fan. Here we go.
Jay the Blast Core fan. The Blast Core story. Blow it up.
Was
Well,
there like a Resident Evil 2 on N64?
There is Resident Evil 2 on
That's
Nintendo
a better
64.
story than Banjo-Kazooie.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
What?
William Birkin and the G virus, and that's
The
better
G
than this?
virus, I
The
think so.
G, it's
Oh,
the
you know
G virus, man.
You
Like, what are you
fucking
talking
new
about?
virus.
It's
No.
the gangsta virus. How could it not be?
I take it back. WWF No Mercy has the best story. in the N64.
It's the best storytelling on the Nintendo 64.
Hell yeah.
It's the best storytelling in
Al
Nintendo.
Snow versus The Undertaker.
It put asses in seats. That's all that matters.
Hell yeah. Rikishi's specifically.
Alrighty then. So, with a grand total
I miss doing this.
of yeah, like we just get to talk about games for a little bit. Like I'm down, super down.
What is the rating on
Unfortunately,
this box?
Banjo Kazooie for the PS Vita just didn't cut it. So
Oh yeah. Live and learn, right?
yeah, it got a
someday
total
it'll-
score of 89, 1 point
Sounds
off
right.
from that certified classic. But
Hmm.
I'm also keeping track. If anyone's curious about the list I am keeping track of, here we are. I'm just sort of.
Yeah, I can read this.
At some point, you need to make the stock shareable. Just so.
So every time he asks me, I'm adding another year in which I won't make it shareable.
Another
All right,
year?
well,
Another
remember,
year,
remember that I know your address and the contents of your coffee table.
Motherfucker. Try to find
You
me.
did?
Try
That's
to
such a
find
nice
me.
house too. Oh, you probably downgraded.
Yeah, I just live in my car.
I haven't been in your car. That's a
Safe
major
in your car.
downgrade.
Banjo Kazooie.
1975's hottest sports car.
But yeah, obviously, I don't think anybody was doubting this one, honestly. It was just sort of like,
No.
to what degree is it a banger? I was just sort of curious on, but 89, Yeah, it's like on the cusp of that like all-time classic, but no, this is like an all-time N64 classic for sure.
Yeah, it's like when Banjo came up, it was like, yeah, okay, it's a matter of a process more than actually a
And
debate.
y'all brought up some good things. Like I'm still hung up on like that camera thing. That's just like my damn dude. Like I really don't think about that shit. But like they obviously had to, like, just such competency, such grace.
Yep. Perfect.
All right.
Unlike Lanky Kong.
Leave Lanky Kong's
no
arms out of this.
In that case, I did my part. I just want to talk about Banjo. So.
I have one if no one else has one, but
Go for it.
Go.
Let's do it.
We're broke.
I want to bring up Katamari Damacy.
Wait a minute. Did we not already?
I don't
wait,
think so.
Or was that
thought
me in
you
chat
said
going
in-
like, I'm really surprised nobody has?
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, oh, if we haven't brought it up, it should be brought up.
Yeah, like
we talked about beautiful Katamari actually.
No, I actually recently replayed Beautiful Katamari, and so I'm hoping that my judgment of that and this don't get mixed up. But the original, this I believe is the remake that we're looking at because the text is slightly different and it's widescreen, and the frame rate's good. But yeah, when I remember thinking like, man, how can they make Katamari look better? And it was like they got the frame rate better, and like this is a perfect looking video game now. This is it. This is the end of video game graphics.
I will say, don't play this on the Switch in handheld mode.
Oh yeah?
It gave me the gnarliest headache. I actually haven't finished it because of that.
What about docked? Is it still bad?
I've heard it's fine docked. I just was only playing in handheld.
Okay. Effect on gaming culture. It really depends on who you ask, because I feel like this game for a time was like a game that people who you did not associate to playing video games would say like, oh, I've played Katamari.
Yeah.
It had that kind of like, because it's so not like other video games and is so unintimidating and so like intuitive that it's very easy for someone who's not that into video games to play this and be like, oh yeah, this is very charming. So I feel like it is very high for me. Obviously the Prince of All Cosmos is not fucking Mario, and he's not Fortnite guy, and he's not Minecraft Steve, but okay, let me get that fucking document out here.
What's in your heart?
Katamari is in my heart all the time. I do really like this game. I've replayed this game a lot of times. It is very, very, very good. And we're talking about, to be clear, we're talking about the original game. We're not talking about all of its sequels or Beautiful and We Heart Katamari and
general effect. Just like this game.
General effect.
Yeah, this game on culture. What about it?
It's very isolated.
2004?
3.
04 looks like.
Okay. Yeah. Jeez, this game's almost 20 years old.
Wild.
Well, shall I give you my score because I have it already?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Oh yeah, what is it?
It's like a 6.
that's fair. Okay. Let me do my math here. 3 out of 5 converts into what now? A 9. I'm gonna give it a 9.
It's so unique.
It's so unique.
Especially for 2004.
Yeah.
It's like they just weren't making games like this. Because it
And still are.
Right, but like they like indie games that are like kind of like this, where you're not making it necessarily for a gameplay that you're supposed to conquer, and it's kind of trying to be more this almost Zen experience. it's like games are more like Katamari Damacy now, like on average, than they were when this came out.
Yeah.
And probably some of that is because this game opened the eyes to people who otherwise only thought games were about, you know, killing guys and saving the princess. And this was, because like this isn't like an art game per se, but it's something, you know, unique. And I think to some degree that's worth more than its actual like relevancy. And so I would probably give this like a 10.
A 10?
Because Katamari is still kind of like a niche thing, and you know, it hasn't spawned a bunch of imitators, but I think its influence on, you know, for example, Donut County. It's just a random indie game that like is of that same ilk, where it's more about like you're not playing it to beat it. You're not playing it to win. You're playing it to experience it. And this is an early game made with that philosophy. And I think a lot more indie games owe themselves to Katamari. Whether they know it or not, I guess. And so that's why I'd give it a 10.
Yeah. There's I remember someone describing this, and this comes through a lot more in its visual design, but also in its gameplay. It's a very like playful experience as opposed to like a challenging experience. Like there's just an inherent sort of whimsy to everything that's happening. I think at the time, because of the way our games media worked and the way like the West was, people interpreted a lot of this as like this kooky Japanese game. Look how weird and strange this is. This is almost kind of like lascivious in a way, and it's like it's actually not. Like they kind of with the sequels leaned into that more of like look how crazy and weird this is. But this first game has this real like playful whimsy to it that for the time was like games didn't do that. In my mind, this game is the ideal that you believed that all Japanese imports could be. Like when you imagine like in your head like a PS2 game that didn't make it to America, it looks like this.
Right.
And obviously that's not true because now we can go back and play Japan-only PS2 games and we find out that like Space Fisherman kind of isn't that good. But it kind of has this sort of like this other, I don't want to say otherworldly, but like a very just different design philosophy behind this. And I feel like that philosophy has kept, even if like the roll things into a ball and have them stick to the ball and make the ball as big as you can, that's not a common game mechanic today. But they also made a fuckload of sequels to this thing. Namco really wanted to keep the Katamari chain going. They've remade it. They've remade the sequel, the first sequel, and they kept going for a while because clearly this was popular enough.
Didn't the 360 and the PS3 have different games?
Yes. One is Beautiful Katamari, and the other is PS3 one. Katamari Forever. And the PSP and the PS Vita also have their own. PSP is Me and My Katamari, and the PlayStation Vita. I've played the other one, the PlayStation Vita. Remember the PlayStation Vita?
Yeah.
Touch My Katamari.
One of these days we'll talk about the Vita at least once.
Did any one of us even own one? Out of curiosity, like,
I have one.
I have one. Actually, a friend's borrowing one.
I think
Play one of the games I'll bring.
I just didn't. I was a broke ass nigga. So.
It's. I mean, you're really not missing.
I bought it to play Gravity Rush and then got mad at the game because it still wanted me to do motion controls.
Yeah.
Despite me turning them all off.
I loved my PlayStation Vita because it was the perfect way to play Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah.
And I think that is still probably the ideal way, unlike maybe the Switch. But having a version of that game that you can like hot turn off and turn on, quick save, quick load in is ideal. Because the normal save points in that game are kind of far apart from each other. But they made a lot of Katamari's, and like it maintained as a franchise for a decent amount of time. So to say it is completely irrelevant is, I think, unfair. But yeah, it's not like other things. Though. It was always niche. It's always niche.
From your experience, my understanding is that this one and We Heart are like the ones, and the rest you play like if you're like really into it, not necessarily worth it.
I would say that this one is the one, and We Heart is cool and expands on some, like, it has some cool ideas that are worth seeing. And then yeah, afterwards, like, I've played the PlayStation Vita one, and I was like, oh, this is not worth. Like, it just, they kind of just made more levels, and they again leaned into like, look how weird this is, as opposed to like having like a charming aspect to it. Like it's just like, it's strange. Look how strange, and the king has this big erection all the time, and it's just like, look at that. That's fucking weird, isn't it? Japan's so kooky, and it loses the plot pretty quickly.
Mr. Stat, have you played this or any of these games?
I have not.
Based on your, perspective, where would you put it as far as cultural relevancy?
Well, basically, like, I definitely never heard the end about it. It was definitely like a prominent feature on like the G4 channel, which is like how I got most of my gaming shit back in the day. It was definitely like a highly recommended title. Everyone was popping off about the soundtrack type deal. It was just something like I just didn't get a chance to play because, like, well, I have the systems that I have. I just can't play it. I don't have a PS2, so sucks to suck type deal.
Has it ever been on your like, I should get around to this list?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like one of those, like, man, it really does. Like, I just miss this, or I just had this idea for a game. I want to do it, and like that's the reason you made it. It just seems like a game in its purest form. Like there's nothing but you in the game, and I really, really do like that.
So
but
easy
like,
to watch.
it was definitely like for a person who didn't have a PS2 and wouldn't know otherwise, it was definitely like on my radar. So like I definitely knew when it was in its prime, like this is like a must-play title.
Yeah.
If you had to score that.
I put like I think I tied with you at a 10, and a 10 for me specifically means it had a strong presence in its heyday, it had a good following in its time, and there might still be some lingering scene in the same vein as like a Super Metroid type deal. So yeah, like I tied with the 10.
Yeah, when these remakes when they announced the remake and said, hey, we're gonna like do an HD version of this, I was like, literally put this game out and like increase the resolution and just re-release it for $20 and I will buy it, and that's exactly what they did. Because it was just like touch nothing, just as it was, and yeah.
Which, like, this is going on visuals, but like mad respect to like what they did, because like this is a Gen 6, the weakest of the batch PS2 game. Like, if you wanted graphical power to do this shit, I would have gone for the Xbox, but you did this on the PS2. You made it look appealing. Everything is so low poly because you know you're gonna zoom out so far from the map, and you're gonna have to accommodate a lot more objects on screen. So you had to like figure out like, how do I make these low poly items look really, really good? And like you found a way.
You make them like, flap around in the air a lot, and like, they just scream.
Yeah, it's like you really like you had to put like a lot of look in like, how are we gonna make this art style work with like this concept? And like, this is probably like my go-to example of like, if you're gonna have bad visuals serving a purpose, working together in tandem, probably like this in Paper Mario, but this is like one where like there's like mad respect, because you're gonna end up just being zoomed out pretty far away from this map with a lot of things happening on screen. I don't know how the performance was at the time, but at the same time, it's the version of this game that's going to live on in the future is probably going to be the one that runs better, so it doesn't really matter. And even now, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty charming.
The performance could chop up a bit on the PS2. Like it wasn't like a slideshow, but it certainly wasn't 60. Whereas, you know, if you play the remake on the PC, it's going to be perfectly smooth.
The game has to like unload the objects if you got too big. Like there were loading screens in between the sizes that you got.
Eventually, you're not picking up the things in the building. You're picking up the building.
Yeah.
But the version of the game we have now, like the one that's going to, the fixed version of the game is the one that's going to survive. Like I'm not gonna put the hardware limitations against it because, well, I live in a day and age where like I have this version, the one that works, and that's the one that people are gonna be able to play in the future. You don't have to deal with what I dealt with in like this little 4-year span of like dealing with hardship.
What I will say about the visual design and like the design, like how they like accommodated for the hardware is, and we'll get to this later, but if you pull up like the PS2 version and the HD remake version, they're this, like it's higher res. Like they did not like go back and like, oh, we need to make the textures more detailed. They're like, no, it's very, like it needs to look exactly the way it does. Pretty much, you know, clean it up, you know, make the text a little more legible and like make it wide, you know, make it 16:9. But they did not go back and feel like, oh, we got to really, you know, tighten this up. We got to make these models, you know, a lot higher res. They're just like, it's the same. Even the textures are like kind of have this like low res quality to them that they kept because it's like so important to the visual identity of this game.
Yeah, but it works. Like you really, this is a style. Like you literally, like this is a style. Like you've made it very distinct. You took a limitation and you turned it into like a very good positive like strength.
Someone's asking which came first, this or Monkey Ball? Monkey Ball came first.
Did it?
Yeah, Monkey Ball. Monkey Ball's a GameCube launch game.
It was a launch game, man.
Very close to it.
Okay.
But Monkey Ball is a game where you roll a ball across a course and you do it with one analog stick. This game has the like almost like battle zone controls. We'll get to that part, but
also control. You don't control the ball. You control the
control the man.
In Monkey Ball. So
yeah,
Monkey Ball,
you tilt the course.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, that's my feelings on this game of cultural relevance. I guess that where we're still at gaming culture. Yeah. I'm giving it a 9.
9, all right. Who do I not have? Oh wait, no, I already have that. We're on controls. Like, yeah, I think I had everybody's score on that one. You're for sure on controls.
Controls, I'm gonna give like 1 was 25. Let's give it like 23.
23.
You can get caught on like ramps and shit sometimes.
You get caught on stuff. There's a
controlling the ball.
There's a boost move where you have to flick up and down on the left and right analog sticks really fast, and like you get like a boost of speed, and like it's finicky. You don't need to use it very much, but you don't really need to use it at all, but it's like a finicky thing that could have just been a button press, but they were very dedicated to like, no, it's just the analog sticks. Mm-hmm. I think the control design overall is really strong. Like it's fun to move this thing around, and you feel the like weight and like awkwardness and like weird misshapen quality of this thing as you're moving it around, and it's like and it's not frustrating in the way that like, oh, I can't get this thing to go around. It's like it's got this kind of like goofy, fun, playful aspect to it that comes from like a good balance of like the way it kind of keeps its momentum, but the way, you know, it's still not like you can kind of get it around corners with a little bit of finesse. Like it's not impossible. And I think there's a good balance of like keeping it like not, you know, it's not a platformer. It's not super precise, but it's just in control enough that you feel like you have a handle on it. But there's 1 or 2 things that are like, this part's a little finicky. So I'll give it 23.
Oh, y'all too, because I haven't touched this game, so I'm not gonna weigh in.
I think I'm looking at 25, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I probably give him about like a 24, just for the you were controlling the ball, so sometimes it's like a little awkward trying to get your ball around things, but that's just part of the game.
Now, do you understand how this game controls, like what you do? If it's not obvious. The left.
Wait.
Stat?
Oh, me? I mean, yeah.
Do you understand?
It really. The thing I can't weigh in, I haven't felt it myself. So it's like if it seems like a control stick only type of deal, that's like a one note thing. Pretty hard to fuck it up, but at the same time, it's like I can't really weigh in like how I feel about like the physics of this one thing.
Yeah. So the left analog stick controls your left arm, and the right analog stick controls your right arm. And basically, if you hit left and only left, you will kind of move it left, like it'll kind of start banking to the right. And then if you do it right, it'll do to the right. And if you hold them both forward, it pushes the ball forward. And then backward is the same thing.
Oh,
and the
so
camera
it's like
just
his
follows
arms
you.
only. So like pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
That's an important piece of how this game controls. It's not like you move it with the left analog stick and you control the camera. It's got like battle zone controls.
Picking those guys up by their pompadours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably give it like a 22 or something. I remember it controlled perfectly fine. I wouldn't call it like exceptional or amazing, but like I don't recall having issues with it despite it being a somewhat eclectic thing, which eclectic matches exactly what they were going for, but not many games where you control a ball, or rather you control pushing a ball.
Yeah. Also, if you collect an item that is like an oblong shape, it affects the way the ball. Like you kind of see, he has this like sign on him, and when he rolls on the peak of that thing, it's kind of like you're gonna feel it in terms of like the way it turns. Like it does matter. So it's not a ball. It's not a perfect ball all the time. It depends on what you pick up. Which that aspect of the controls are communicated really, like that works really well, especially for the time.
It's just like man, I don't know. I know I haven't played it. It's just because I have no fucking time to do anything. But yeah, like once I have nothing left to do, holy shit, is this like on the log?
You have nothing left to do? Oh no!
I'm just trying to retire, dude. I'm just trying to I want to exist and play my backlog. That's it. Leave me alone.
Okay. Well, this game will bring the joy of living life to its fullest back to you. So like, this is a good first game a good game.
Here we go.
A bright, cheery, sunny thing to make you appreciate the mundanity of life and all the people in it. It's great. Fucking love this game.
Hello from Apple World.
Hello from. That's exactly what this game is. What is it from? That's SpongeBob, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was Futurama for a second. Why do they have an apple? Never mind. It doesn't matter. Information, system utilization.
Yep, system visualization. I can't weigh in on it.
Fucking amazing. Like, Jesus. They really go there.
Yeah.
They do a lot.
In order to pick up a living item, if your thing is not big enough, you can knock them over and knock them like onto their heads, and then you can pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
Because
by their sumo underwear.
Pick up the sumo underwear, and then they scream. Yeah, no one's happy to become part of the Katamari.
Just like, the fuck is happening?
Well, that's probably because they're gonna turn into a star.
They're gonna get turned into a star.
Yeah.
You just know inherently that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, so you're collecting all this stuff because your father, the king of all cosmos, wants you to make stars. And so
he knocked all the stars. The story of this game is that your father, the king of all cosmos, goes on a drunken bender and knocks all of the stars out of the galaxy. And so you need to replace them all by going to Earth and rolling up a bunch of stuff to make them into stars.
Yep.
Delightfully Japanese.
The real the depends on who you talk to. Actually, fucking what's the guy's name? Katamari developer. Keita Takahashi has talked about like part of this is also just like the theme of society and capitalism is to roll up stuff to get bigger for the sake of getting bigger. Like every level is about just like you collect bigger things and make the ball bigger and bigger because you want the ball to be bigger and bigger, and it just kind of has this like weird pseudo message about that. And he has talked about that a little bit. Like this, none of the sequels have that ethos at all. It is only this first game that like little bits of the dialogue kind of hint at the king sort of being this sort of like, we must make it bigger because bigger is better and everything must be increased, and you know, he kind of always talks in those tones. But this first game has it, and
like, just the emptiness of materialism, basically.
Yeah, there's a lot of like when you roll all this stuff together, it's all the same. That kind of feeling of like it all means the same stuff. It's just all stuff. Except for people, of course, because people are in the game too.
That's super.
But
seems to have a great time.
Yeah. There's also like a side story because it follows there's these cutscenes where it follows this family, and there's like the husband is like an astronaut, and so the boy sees on TV like this news report that like they're gonna go watch the launch of his father going to the moon or whatever. And the boy is like, wait, have you seen on TV? There's no stars in the sky anymore. And they're like, oh, young Satoshi, whatever, you fucking do your thing. And then the launch gets called off because the sky has no stars in it, and like there's a whole thing. Well, it's actually a very minor thing, like it's not really important. But they kind of make the prince a character. They kind of make the king of make the king of all cosmos probably the most. He has the most spoken lines of dialogue. But it is very tertiary to sort of, you know, it's very much there for aesthetic and not there to like tell this like gripping narrative.
I feel like the king kind of became the mascot because he's the silly guy in the first one, and then he just becomes flanderized.
Why does he have a countdown?
Because it's timed.
Timed, yeah.
That's the challenge of the levels, is you need to get
as big as possible.
As big as possible. You need to get over a certain limit in a certain amount of time.
It's like why he'll pause sometimes, and the king will pop up and be like, your ball, it's as big as a palm tree.
Well, you just keep rolling until you get to like this size, and then we'll be good. And then because he's this sort of like overarching weird father figure, even if you get to like the like par for the course, basically, if it's not like super blowing out of proportion, you'll be like, oh, this will do, but it's still fairly small. Like he's very condescending in his language towards you about how big your Katamari is. Unless you're just like doubling the size or whatever. After a while he kind of lets up. But it gives the game some replayability, and also like, so these cutscenes, it gives the game some sort of like it gives the character that sense of like he's almost like a disappointed dad in you because you're cleaning up his mess and he's not happy with how you're doing it.
Fuck this guy, man. Jesus Christ.
Oh, but he's the best.
Yeah.
No, he's the best.
Love you, Dad.
System utilization, I think I only got a 20 from Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd agree.
20. Everyone's touched the full 20.
Utilization is 20 for me, yeah.
Certainly for the first one.
Conveying
I did not finish the first one.
It's like 2 hours long.
You gotta really hurry.
Yeah.
Conveying information.
Yeah.
If
you need to be
can,
this big.
If you can pick something up, you pick it up. If you can't, you bounce off it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Much. I would.
Pretty straightforward.
There's a thing where like to get up a ledge, you can push the ball. Like you can just hold forward on both sticks, and you'll like slowly climb up the ledge. Sometimes the ledge is too big, and that does not work. That can be a little bit weird.
That kind of changes like the bigger your ball gets, though.
Yeah, it does. Also, there are a couple of like side levels in this game where instead of making the ball as the worst thing about this fucking game, the levels where you have to like, it's not about making the ball as big as possible, but it's like getting the biggest thing you can find. like of a specific type of object, and then once you collect one of them, the level ends immediately. Those levels are not, because you have to now carefully navigate the level and try not to pick up a very small cucumber or whatever it is. And those levels are not particularly fun. And like it's very easy in those levels to like get pretty far and like get the Katamari pretty big and then accidentally roll up super tiny cow. And so now your cow run is like fucked. So 7.
What are you saying?
7 for convey information.
All right. So do you have 2 8s and a 7? Sound design. I know people like the soundtrack a lot, but yeah, I'm trying to like listen at this game, try to get a feel for
everything. Every sound that comes out of this game is perfect. Every sound that comes out of it is fucking perfect.
It's
The sound
countdown alarm. Even though
the countdown alarm is maybe not the best, but like every like sound effect of an item being picked up, whether it's like a person or a fruit or whatever, like does something. Like the bells will ring, or like a championship wrestling belt will like do the like the like the Japanese wrestling like bell. You know, it's everything has a personality to it. And of course, all the people will yell and scream. Like the sumo wrestlers yell like a big sumo wrestler would, where the students like cackle the way a child would. You know, the cows will moo. And then of course the soundtrack is fucking amazing.
Yep.
Can I just assume everybody here is a 5? Like,
go for it.
Is that a fair assumption?
I mean, you already know what I'm gonna say.
I don't know if you're gonna tell me about Twinkle Park today or not, but
when was the last time we talked about Twinkle Park?
I don't know.
Been too long.
When that VTuber came out, you're like, this dog's pretty cool, but it's no Twinkle Heart.
I think that has played Sonic Adventure, so like there's a relation. Here, let me see if I can find a video of that dog playing Twinkle. I'll be right back.
While he's on that, targeting visuals.
I'm having a really good day today.
Hell yeah.
You can talk about Twinkle Park again and Harome.
You get to talk about Banjo and Katamari Damacy. Like, we just 2 back-to-back bangers.
Katamari, despite its simple visuals, are also, because it kind of uses that pastel palette in conjunction, has a pretty unique visual design. And so, you know, this is a PS2 game, and as Ryan said earlier, when they remade it, they pretty much just widened the screen and sharpened up the aliasing a little bit, and didn't really need to do much more than that. And so I would probably max out the points for visuals as well.
I am tied with Jim. Yep, that's a 5. All right.
That cell shading, or I guess the pastel coloring, really just like withstands the test of time, it seems, for a lot of games.
Yeah, like the simpler the visuals you aim for, usually helps long term.
There is a menu somewhere where after you collect an item, there's like a catalog where every item gets like a description and you can just view it close up. The textures are very simple, but like it's still not like ugly looking. Like they look fine, and like they have character and charm. Like every milk bottle has like a little logo on it and like a little bit of text, and you know, the way these characters and look at these cops shooting their gun by just standing still and just flicking their arms up. This got a lot of character out of very simple models. I think we keep saying that, but
how big can the balls get in this game? Because is it like the further ones where like he starts rolling up bigger items in the city, or is it not this one?
The further ones, you basically roll up everything on the earth.
Yeah, at some point you're like rolling up almost the entire planet.
But like, I guess like, what is the general size of this game?
It's kind of 3 sections. It's like there's like in a house, so you're getting up little trinkets in a house. And then there's kind of like in the city, like we're seeing now, like rolling around the town. And then there's yeah, buildings and countries and gods and all that stuff.
I'm trying to let me see if I can track down some of that.
That's like the later parts of the game.
I'm pretty late in the game. We're 3 hours in.
So the last level is kind of where it transfers. Like suddenly you go from rolling up stuff in buildings to buildings.
Yeah,
and
this
so
guy's a fucking Chad.
yeah. Notice you can't see him anymore on the rolling the ball in the base. Yeah, roll up Ultraman, roll up, all the stuff.
Did everybody here say 5 or?
I'm saying 5.
Oh yeah, 5.
Some of its parts.
Max 4.
I think it's a max 7.
I don't like those levels where you have to like not roll up as big a thing and it has to be like a specific thing. So I'm gonna give it a 6. That's the one part I don't think sums up well.
This game gave me a headache, which means it can't be played on the Switch or Steam Deck. So,
what? Wait,
6.
that's just a fucking. No! What are you talking about? No, wait. What are you talking about?
You can play Banjo Kazooie in handheld mode, probably.
That's not the stuff. What the fuck?
I mean, I didn't finish the game, so I kind of can't really give a score since I did not see all of its parts.
Alright, so pretty much a 7 and a 6 will result in a 7, so.
Betrayal.
Alright, the fun factor.
6 for me. It's very fun. I can replay this game anytime and have a good time. I've replayed this game so many times and can go back at any point and be like, this is still engaging and fun to do. It's not particularly challenging anymore because I just know where everything is, but man, it does hold up extremely well.
Yeah, I also would give it a max point for that as well, because it's just like such an easy game to just pick up, play, enjoy it, and you can hand it off to like my nephews or whatever, and they would have a blast with it. Just seeing the ball get bigger as they roll up the people, and they make funny sounds as they get picked up and their arms flail.
Very digestible game.
Much more so than what Tom was.
Yeah, I'd probably. It's a game I definitely wish didn't give me a headache because I was having a lot of fun with it, and I plan on going back and playing it like on my telly.
Yeah, on the telly.
Yeah, play it on a real television.
Or a computer monitor, probably still fine.
So, story?
The mise en scène fucks I'd say like a 3.
It's very simple, but all the pieces are very charming.
Like a Banjo, it's almost kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not telling a masterpiece story, but it's got a lot of likable stuff in it. So whatever I give
I didn't even know about like the whole like capitalism angle from it. I was like, oh, huh.
They dive into that a little bit. It's just more like it's something that has been like brought up in interviews with Keita Takahashi, who's talking about like, this sort of like consumerist, like I need to have more things, was something that kind of inspired a little bit of this. I think the parts of, like I said, there's that catalog piece where they catalog every single item you can pick up, and each one has like a whimsical description to it. It's like a level of detail they probably didn't need to do, but it rounds out. It's like not so much the story, it's like the feeling. There's an aesthetic to this that is very strong.
Vibes.
Yeah, the vibes on this game are fucking impeccable, as they would say. They're on point, for real. On
definitely a little bit better than Banjo's take on capitalism, which is trying to maximize the amount of gold you get so you can buy a haunted house from a witch.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's
That's the story of the
a
game, right?
that's the story on land
That.
ownership. Playing 100
That's
house
not
for
the-
all the gold
That's
you
not
have.
the Luigi's Mansion storyline.
Mario.
Luigi bought that mansion from Banjo.
So
Luigi's
what are
using a
y'all
Game
going
Boy
with? I
Color.
only have the
I'll go
three.
like a 5.
I'll go with 5 as well.
Yeah, 5.
Oh, all right.
As someone whose father was disappointed in them, I can relate to the principal Cosmo.
And then for its time.
3.
It
3.
still holds up now.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, alrighty. Looks like we got the whole 9. I probably should have found box art of this fucking game.
That would certainly help.
Yeah, but like, nobody has it. Even when I literally search for Katamari box art.
The cows are the box art.
What if I don't want that? What if I want something
That's
better?
Die in a fire.
That's the box art, mister.
What, you don't like the box art for Katamari?
Well,
Monster?
maybe I can't light a fire. You ever fucking think about that? Maybe I'm not just as cool as you. Can't light this shit.
You want to mean maybe? You just aren't.
Well,
Hey.
you want to like
There's
buy people of it.
There's also the reroll box art. Like if you want that. Oh yeah, no, this is fine.
But with a score of 91, it is actually
Let's go.
a certified.
Even banger.
Let's
Banjo
go.
Kazooie.
The
Certified classic.
The certified classic.
Classy.
This is. I had this in a tab and this scared me.
I haven't even played it yet. Classic. Oh lord. Dogger.
I was like, oh, let me have this tab open. What into close this? What was this? And then that.
You should probably close. Like you don't want to don't fall down that rabbit hole. You want to be clean.
Don't you mean dog hole?
No. Yeah, well, the rabbit's someone else. Let's not.
Are we sponsored by Corone?
What about Corona?
Can she sponsor us?
I think they lost a lot of money when the pandemic came out.
God damn it.
No, they got a lot of money when the pandemic came out.
We gotta get the VTuber crowd.
Is that
The VTuber crowd is massive.
Exactly. See?
They don't want to sponsor us.
Oh, I don't want to
But
see
why?
this dog lady. Who is this dog person, and why do I want you out of my life?
I don't know. She's like a Japanese woman who streams games and performs as this character. Like, what do you want?
I
not a lot
want
to
not
it.
that.
I want money.
Not that at all.
You want-
Yeah, I do.
not
I do
that?
want money. Yeah.
Money. I mean, money's good. She makes a lot of it.
What the
Goddamn.
hell? You.
Sponsored people. How dare
This
they?
YouTube counter is not accurate. I'm just gonna pretend. You know what? Nobody's here. That's what I'll pretend.
Okay, so that was my contribution.
Yeah, Katamari Damacy is a banger. Banjo Kazooie is a banger. All right.
All right, I'll leave
Accurate so far.
Jim here to pick the next one because I will be right back.
Oh my.
Hopefully he's back soon, because the game I was going to pick, he's the only other person I know who for sure has played it.
Oh no. What is it?
It is the best Zelda game of all time. Okami.
I have not played Okami, so I
I've
can't.
also not
comment
played
there.
Okami.
Well,
It looks
hurry
great.
back, RJ.
Really?
Yeah. Okami is incredible. Played it probably less than like a little more than a year ago. I played it for the first time, and
Damn.
head over heels for it.
Really?
Yeah, it's like probably. I mean, I'm like, aside, like I really like Breath of the Wild, which is a whole different thing. But of the traditional style Zelda, like Ocarina style Zelda games, and games of its ilk, this is my favorite.
But Okami's your favorite Zelda game. That's a bold statement there, Cotton.
And I stand by it.
Damn.
RJ can attest that I've
might-
made that argument every
Might
time we
have
talk
to play
about Zelda.
this game.
It is so good.
Do you
I
play
don't
this
know,
game
but
a lot?
only 2 out of 4 of us have played it. You sure don't have.
Yeah.
What just happened here? Why are we talking about Okami again?
Because it is the GOAT, and you're gonna back me up.
I mean, only
I
2
heard-
out of 4 of us have played it, so.
Oh dear.
I mean, 3 out
No
of
one's
4
played-
I can get behind, but 2, I don't know.
RJ agrees, even if he won't. He's too embarrassed to say it.
I mean, like
Okami is the best Zelda
I'm
of all
sure
time.
I'm sure I can max the score, but you know.
Are we really gonna trust this guy
What
to
was-
tell
what was-
us about video games?
I trust me on video games.
What's your favorite game right now?
Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
What?
I said, what's my favorite video game right now? I was like,
Wait,
well,
what did you say?
Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
What the hell's that?
It's a spiritual successor to Jet Grind Radio. Jet Set Radio.
Rush Cyberpunk, huh?
Derailed the Okami discussion.
I'm just genuinely curious.
Yeah, it just came out like not even a week ago.
Yeah, they've been hyping this up for a while. See how this looks like Jet Set Radio?
Yes, holy shit, yes.
The same composer and everything.
Oh, one.
Ooh, I better find the soundtrack
yeah.
right quick.
I don't know if he did all of it, but
He did.
He
He did a
like
lot.
he did a few songs here and there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, never.
I didn't want some guy talking over it. I just wanted some person playing it.
I don't know if we're gonna have
NPC
any like
who danced.
long plays yet of this game. It's too new.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk versus Jet Set Radio comparison? You bet.
What?
Wait, Cyberpunk the game? Oh.
Or Bomb
Oh.
Rush, excuse me.
Cyberpunk Bombers. Yeah, it's definitely.
I
a
like
similar
that the
looking
right
game.
is just some dude's like recording of the TV because he just didn't have a capture card.
Yeah.
Amazing.
With like the audio fucking symbol on it on top of it.
That's how you know Jet Set was doing it right, because like all these years later, like the art style is almost like I can't tell you what came out on the fucking Dreamcast. I can't tell you what came out on the fucking Switch.
Yeah.
Like
They didn't
literally-
HD re-release.
They just did what they wanted, and that's it. This
I
is
didn't
the
realize
art
how
style.
much. I did not realize how much Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is just this game. Like I knew
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
inspired
literally.
by it, but I didn't realize. Like
Like-
seeing the three of them like do the dance in sequence, I'm like, okay, they really
Yeah.
just made another one.
Yeah. It's really good.
I should check this thing out.
Y'all, yeah, I really do. Holy shit. But I mean, he is pitching Okami, but so just Jim and RJ?
I've played the DS game Okami Den.
Why would you
How's
do
that?
this to me?
That game's not that great, actually, to be honest.
It's
kind of
Yeah.
it's pretty bad. Yeah. Well, okay. It's not
not
bad.
terrible, but
It's just very below average. There we go.
yeah, it's not great.
As far as cultural relevancy for
I guess,
Okami,
are they proceeding?
Yes, they're proceeding. We're gonna.
Yeah.
we're
we've
gonna
done games where only 2 people played before.
This is not Okami. This is not Okami.
Did we make it a record to not? What is this?
Yeah,
This is
if that
clearly
was the
Okami.
rule, I don't think this is Okami.
Oh, all
wait,
right.
hold-
Well, if you want to, I guess we'll have to go back, I guess.
I mean, I have not played Castlevania
64.
64, so
You know what? I
Neither have
have.
I.
It's great.
I still haven't played Castlevania 65.
I like it
Maybe someday.
Why? Why do you like it?
because
a good question.
I just like it. I don't know, if someone put it in my head it's supposed to be bad, I'm like, not really. That is a big one, all right. But all right, I guess cultural relevancy. I mean, I'm aware of that this game is supposed to be hype, honestly. Like,
I'd give it a 9.
The box art for the Wii version is very infamous.
Yeah.
That is true. That IGN watermark logo.
IGN watermark.
Oh man, Kokari.
Hold on, I'm doing my math. Keep talking about it.
what do you mean?
Yeah, so
We can't talk about it.
I give it a 9 because it my point of reference is God Hand, where it's like and actually it's bigger than God Hand. And
Yeah.
It's like considered one of the best in its genre. Was never a major hit, but pretty much anyone who knows, like, who would consider gaming a hobby, I think would at least be somewhat familiar with Okami. And Amateratsu's shown up in a couple of things. There's an Amaterasu costume in Monster Hunter, and she's a character in Marvel 3. So, and also it's like the art style's pretty famous.
Okay, stop talking now. I've got my math now.
All right.
10.
Cool.
Wait, so we have a 9 and 10?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Y'all.
Roman Reigns approves of Okami.
I don't know who that is.
I'm sorry, why does Roman Reigns approve of Okami?
Because I said, yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, sir. God mode.
Controls, I guess. I'm completely out of this one.
This is a PS2 game with
yes, it is
Zelda controls, and it has a second analog stick, therefore giving you control over the camera.
Put it a step above Ocarina.
I guess the main thing is that the drawing on the this whole game's like main mechanic is that you draw on a piece of parchment and you interact with the world that way. Drawing feels like surprisingly really good with the right analog stick.
It's not perfect.
It's not perfect, but you can pretty much get what you want out of it for the most part.
What about the Wii version?
I never played the Wii version.
We're not talking about that.
What do you mean?
About the PS3?
Wouldn't that make it the easiest?
What about the PS3 version
but
that supports the PlayStation Move?
I don't know. I'm curious. Interesting. But
I think it's fine not to consider it. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah. Always like it when Ryan gives me a hard something.
Oh no.
Yeah, I would say like running around as the dog, it feels like it feels up to snuff. There's not a lot of you're not slipping, sliding around or anything like that. Jumping feels good. Combat, because you have various weapons. You get like a sword, and you get these Japanese beads and all sorts of stuff that you can beat people's ass with. In fact, here's an example. Also, you can combo that with you can use the ink brush to, finish people off and stuff like that. And it's not something that takes time to click or anything. You pretty much can just get it from the get-go, which the ink brush mechanic being as unique as it is and still being pretty intuitive, I think is good. It's not perfect. Let's see what it scores out of 25. Yeah, I would say unless RJ can remember anything that's famously bad that I'm forgetting.
You played it way more recently than I.
Yeah. I'd probably say a 23, because sometimes when you're trying to make the wind happen and it sets something on fire instead, not great, but otherwise it's pretty damn good.
I know I've tried to make something bloom, but then I drew it too close to the sky, so I just changed to daytime or nighttime or whatever. So I'd probably get it 23.
And these are the guys that they later made Bayonetta, and they made God Hand before this, actually after this, or around the same time, and Beautiful Joe, and so they pretty much know how to make a game character move.
It's really fun running around in that game. It just feels good to do, because you pick up speed as you dash forward and just immediately pick up speed, and
oh man,
flowers and petals and stuff are growing every time you walk. It's great.
What the fuck? System utilization, I guess.
Yeah. Trying to think again, the painting mechanic is such a important thing. So for that to not be perfect is probably worth a knock. But beyond that, I mean, it's, you know, it's like those old 3D Zeldas. It's like everything just comes together super well. Like talking to like the ways you figure out how to deal with those walls later are good. I mean, I can't think of anything I'd knock it down for. But again, like one of its major mechanics not being as optimal, I think is worth negative points. But I'd give it a 19. I think just there's a lot. This is a big ass game, and there's a lot going on. It's like longer
What
than any
version
of
did
those
you
Zelda.
play? Like, is there a version of the game that's rectified the issue?
I played the PS2 version, and so I can't speak to the like they've ported it to PS3 and PS4, and probably I don't think it's out on PS5 yet. But
Yeah, because like
so-
I mean, if they fixed it, like then we can't really knock it for like, hey, there's a fixed version of the game, and you have that option, type deal.
yeah, can't tell you. But otherwise, I think it all comes together beautifully. So yeah, I'd give it 19.
RJ,
So this right. Okay. So for me, it's the drawing mechanic working as well as it does, but there are minor problems that I've had with it. They don't detract from the game too much because you can just stop what you're doing and try drawing it again. But that's really like my only complaints about when it comes to that mechanic not working. So I would probably do 18 as well.
I mean, he had a 19. You're saying 18?
19? 18. So it'd be 19.
Oh dear. Conveying information.
See, what is that? It's out of 8. Yeah,
Not mistaken.
out of 8.
Your little partner, Fairy Isun, basically tells you what you need to do
Yeah,
almost at all
often.
times. Yeah. And reiterate, you need to go to the boat.
Right. Yeah, it's somewhat inelegant, but certainly does get the point across often.
Mm-hmm.
But also like visually, like you can tell what things it does a very good job of visually telling you what to do. Like you see the glowing in the ground. Despite the game being pretty busy visually, you can always kind of figure out like, oh hey, there's one of these things, so I can dig it up and I can get some more.
Be like, what do you mean by busy? Because like so far I haven't seen anything that looks like. I guess I wouldn't define it as busy.
Okay, well.
But like, what do you mean by that? I'm generally.
There's usually like,
Let me try to find something.
the game can kind of like have a lot on the screen at one time because some of those levels are big and elaborate, but I think the visual style does a good job of kind of letting you figure out. Like, so for example, the wind in the sky, that's telling you that you can do certain things with the wind and things like that. It has a lot of small visual cues like that I think help it out quite a bit.
Right,
On top of
so
already
you're saying
looking
like a
great.
lot of shit on the screen because like right now it's just like like I'm on a cliffside right now. Pretty. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward to me. Like I'm really trying to grasp like what.
Maybe it's coming off of Katamari and Banjo. More going on, but anyway, I think I mean, the game pretty much like whatever your eyes don't tell you, the little guy will tell you. So, I'd give it an 8.
Then RJ.
8. Do I need to explain further?
I mean, your inputs. I mean,
It's been a long
know.
time since I've last played this. So my memory of like certain things, like visual cues and stuff, is hazy. Okay. Twinkle Park.
Twinkle Park.
I've been bored, and so I
Oh.
looked for the Karane stream of her playing Sonic Adventure, and she has in fact experienced Twinkle Park. If you want the timestamp on that, that's in 1 hour and 48 minutes into that Sonic Adventure stream.
Oh my god, beautiful. Twinkle Park, yeah.
Yeah, I think this game looks cool too. Okami.
Yeah.
What a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, please proceed. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
To URL. I think they're on sound design.
Soundtrack's really good. There's a lady that got a big old bosom, and her soundtrack has women moaning in it because everyone's horny for her.
What?
And
now we have to find the Okami. Like, excuse me, I need to find this Okami lady.
they even give her like a nickname. There's
Okami. What do I search for?
She's like at the start of the game, kind of.
No, she's like not the mayor of the town, but she's like the town.
I'm thinking of the other one.
Oh no, that's like the.
There's
the
like two
goddess
ladies.
Mayor Bosom.
Mayor Bosom, hi. Agree.
Oh,
dear.
Cerebellum in fucking Powerpuff Girls. You should never see her face.
That's the thing.
Okami. Okay, I'm just gonna look up Okami Bosom now because I don't know what else to do.
We don't know.
What's her name? I'm trying to.
I don't remember. Anyway.
Rao, R-A-O.
Wait, what's her name?
Rao, R-A-O.
R-A-O. Akari,
yeah,
evil Rao boss battle.
Okay, well, spoilers, but
okay. Rao is very beautiful, and as a result, a large number of the characters seem to be attracted to her. She has a large chest that is the focus of Isun's attention, causing Isun to nickname her Busty Babe. She wears a nun's hood, a necklace of red beads, and a purple dress with a yellow sash. That's from the Okami fandom wiki. I'm not just like.
What the hell is happening? Busty Babe, is that you? What a monster are you talking about, though? That ginormous thing?
Yeah, it's really good. It's not perfect, but I give it a 4%.
What the fuck? Okay.
You're not gonna be like, oh yeah, but they have the Banjo Kazooie sounds, so they go like.
They do the Banjo Kazooie sounds.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they're doing it right now. Yeah.
Increase the cultural relevance of Banjo Kazooie retroactively. Then. I mean, that's what that means, right? This game is. What if Japan made Banjo Kazooie?
Damn. Are you both 4 or is RJ a 5?
I give it a 4. I don't. There's not a lot of sounds that I can like remember besides like Isun talking and the soundtrack. A few good tracks in there.
What about visuals?
I'll let you hazard a guess as to what I think the visual score should be for this game.
All right, so Jim's giving it. He's giving it a 1, and RJ is giving it a 1. Very unfortunate.
All right, moving on.
We have to move on. I suppose.
That was his. Mine is full mark. I'm not a hater.
All right, so
the game's really good, but
massive
I don't like
haters.
Asians.
And they hate Asians. All right, so Rao is the busty babe. He hates Asians. It's a lot of.
I give it a 2, 1 for each.
One for.
Wow.
At least get a 4.
Yeah, no. It's obviously it's fine. It's like
all
one
right.
of the best looking games ever.
Some of its parts.
This is a Zelda game in every sense of the word. From like puzzle design, the level design of you going into a dungeon,
Getting a
usually get a thing out of it that you can then use on the boss or to solve more puzzles. And storyline is actually very good.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a lot of things going on. But I guess we're not at the story yet, so I'll get to that once we get to that.
Are you both 7?
Yeah.
The fun factor.
Also a 7. What's it out of?
A 6.
A 6.
Six.
Yes. I'm gonna give it a 7.
The story.
Yeah, I mean, I'd give it a 5. It's not like a masterpiece, but it's a really interesting story about Japanese folklore. But like not, I guess, specifically Japanese. I know Amaterasu is like an actual Japanese god spirit from I guess Shinto. I don't really know, but it's telling like basically a made-up story about Amaterasu. And how she's like had saved this village a long time ago from this evil monster and sealed them away, and the monster breaks out and causes a whole lot of trouble. And I guess the game pretty famously, like, you think it's going to end like 3 or 4 times before something else happens that continues the story along. And it's very good. I like it. Big fan. 5 out of 6.
5 out of 6. All right, RJ.
I'm gonna go with Jim. Say 5 out of 6.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just ask Jim for the score since RJ essentially matches. Got it. So
Yeah,
it's time.
Max points. It was amazing then. It's amazing now.
Dark Link.
RJ maxes out. All right. So.
All right. 99. Wow.
Well,
You're extraordinary.
Multiple bangers from there. Like,
oh damn! What a zinger
Like,
that was.
I mean, like, I'm not kidding when I say it's one of my favorite games ever, and cannot recommend it enough.
Well, with a score of 90, it is indeed.
Not quite Katamari good, but a little bit better than Banjo.
not as good as Katamari Damacy.
Hey, you haven't played it. How?
I just know it's not as good as Katamari Damacy. Nothing's good as Katamari Damacy.
Nothing is as good as Katamari Damacy.
Amaterasu is the princess of all cosmos, fam.
Right.
No, she's the goddess of the sun. Here, I'm gonna put more things in her.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think the 3 of us have picked certified. I think we just sort of knew our choices would get there. So is RJ going to be the one that makes the interesting pick this one?
Do you pick a stinker?
Yeah, are you gonna pick something that's like straddling the line?
Quake 2.
What? No. Okay, so making sure I'm gonna do this little head count here. Who has all played Deus Ex?
I have not.
I played the tutorial of it.
Not good enough.
No, it's not.
All right, so we're not doing that one. Has anyone else played Celeste?
I played Celeste.
I have not.
I've played some of it.
Still not good enough. Let's do Mario Party 2.
My man.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Now we're talking.
God.
Yeah! Let's go.
Not yet now. You made it to the Wild West stage first.
I take it back. I have played Deus Ex. It's my favorite game.
Too late. You're too late.
All right, Mario Party 2, my man. All right, now we
Fuck
are
me, dude.
we are schmovin'. Moving and schmovin', indeed.
Time for the ultimate hootenanny.
Ah, beautiful. What a way to kick it. So this one be straddling the line, huh? Because spoilers, I think Mario Party 3 is better than 2, but we'll see.
Crackhead.
Yeah, you say what you want. You mad?
Say the correct thing in that Mario Party 2 with a bullet is the best one.
No, we just pat him on the back and say that's cute. Let me just move on.
They're all the same.
They're all the same.
They're like all identical video games. Like
They're
the
not.
mini games are bad in all of them. The boards are stupid in all of them.
Whoa, whoa,
guy, come on.
Settle down there.
Fuck, man.
I don't know who you think you are over here, but here we believe in Jesus.
Brian, I did my part to help your favorite game, Okami, get on the board. You can scratch my back for Mario Party 2.
That's not how criticism works. That's not how journalism works.
Journalism is journalism. Excuse me.
Jim, democracy dies in darkness. I can't just like give this game a fake good score because you want me to.
Mario's gonna lose all his money after he got the money from the Koopa Bank. What more do you need in terms of the
That's
wild
what it
ride?
is. Bowser stole all of Ryan's income from the Koopa.
And now
Oh,
they're gonna
boy.
play Toad in the Box.
Toad in the box! Hooray!
So I feel like
oh.
the cultural relevancy of this game
Yeah.
It's very high.
has negatively impacted a lot of our lives, or positive, depending on.
The cultural relevancy of this game is like max score. Like this is as people. There are people who feel like this game is as well, not this game specifically, but this franchise is as relevant as Mario Kart. I think that's insane, but I get it. It is a very big, like, they keep making these fucking things. And the only thing with this here is that it's Mario Party 2 and not 1. But I'm gonna try to give it as many, like, gimme points as I can, and I'm gonna max up the score.
I am tied with Ryan.
I really like 2. 2 has all the costumes. I don't know about 3.
Well, listen, you just haven't lived until you played a Game Guy game, bet it all on black, and won like 10,000 coins. Because
I'm gonna give it a 14 because Mario Party 1 and probably like the Wii and Switch ones are definitely the top.
8 is not the top.
Not as far as like quality, but as far as like when I worked at a GameStop, one of my teachers asked me to go buy her a copy of Mario Party 8 as a with my employee discount.
Are you sure that's just not like the result of the Switch, or like not the Switch, the Wii being the Wii?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is the Wii and the Switch are like way bigger than the N64 and the GameCube were. So like while everybody knew a guy who had an N64 or GameCube and played Mario Party, like I think like a max score 15, that is like it's like grandmas know about it. And so grandma has played a Mario Party, and Mario Party 1 counts because it started. But I think like the N64 and GameCube sequels, while still huge, are not quite on the level of the ones that everybody like grandmas. And
I think 2 has the majority of
played.
games on the Switch re-release. Like 2 is pretty much like the blueprint.
Well, in that case, I'm still sticking with the 14.
I think you've made a convincing argument. I think I'm just changing mine to 14 because it isn't It's not Mario Party 1.
It's just for some reason every time it's brought up, like for some reason people are just like, yeah, 2. Like no matter what context it is.
Who is fucking telling you? Oh yeah, Mario Party 2. What a fucking awesome video game. I love Mario Party 2. I fucking love playing Mario Party 2. I love the minigame where you pick a fucking thing and you win or lose. It's just a random fucking thing. I love the part where you land on a square and it just takes a star away from you. And then someone else lands on a square and it gives them the fucking star. I love that fucking part. Fuck Mario Party 2.
Mario 1.
Yeah, that's way more Mario Party 1 than 2. Like, holy shit.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
They're just like opening some old wounds.
Anyway, Mario Party 2 is the best Mario Party game.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think he miscorrected me. He
Fine.
said 3. It's fine, but you know.
Like, stat. When you're saying like people say, you're talking about like, you know, like people on your Discord and people like.
No,
You
I've
know,
read
us.
like weirdly like random game threads on this, and
Right,
for
right,
some reason,
Right.
2
For me,
is, like, the
full
one.
marks. For me, full marks is literally like you just run up to like a random guy on the street and you shake them and say, "What's your favorite Mario Party?" And they'll probably be like, "Don't touch me." Where I would say 2.
Okay,
I think
so
most
the way we
people would
settle
honestly
this,
say 2. Like it really seems to be 2. Like with most people, like I like 3 the best, but like it really does seem to be 2. I can't deny that. But that's why I was thinking with the
Most
full
people are
marks. Like, and you know, most people are wrong. That's very true. What about you, RJ?
Yeah, so the fact that I even brought up 2, because this is off of my little list of games here, and that's the only Mario Party I even bothered to like put down. Mario Party 2 is the most relevant one, in my opinion. It's the most favorite one.
Are you
Favorite one
gonna
of all.
14 or 15?
I'd do like a 14.
I'm gonna stop asking RJ just completely. I think I got this. Jim, you now speak for RJ.
All right.
Fighting wars.
You've tied every single score since we started.
Yeah. Usually everyone has said what I was thinking about, and it's like, well,
You know what, RJ?
Yeah.
You go first from now on. I just you gotta lead us off. I want more of RJ's opinions. I want to hear them.
well, all
But
right.
where we at?
Longest opinion. But for example, just 15 for me is Tetris. 15
Yeah.
is Fortnite. 15 is Grand Theft Auto. And Mario Party 2 is way high up there, not quite on the level of those others. So
Yeah.
I think this is
That's
the
why
one. It's like the reason that every time it's like we're gonna do the Mario parties you love. It's like this is Mario Party 2 with like a couple of 1 and 3 in there. What you gave me. Like I think there's a reason for that. It's like yeah, two is the one. As much as like I like 3, it's, yeah, this is the one. This is the one that's like peak Mario Party.
speaking of, could you put the cowboy stage on? Because that's also the best stage. So,
He's just,
you know,
you know what? That's
we really want to have a real discussion on Mario Party. Show off his strengths.
all right. Controls, RJ, go.
Controls. So every single minigame controls. Well, most of the minigames control differently.
They sure do.
Depending on who you ask, those controls can be really good to the worst thing you've ever imagined in your entire life. I think all these controls, everything controls perfectly well, and I would give it at least a 24.
Wait,
Can't think of any minigame.
I
I
think
can't
it's
think
out
of
of
any
22.
minigame that I like hate.
Does this the
out of
one that has the
22.
minigame where
Or no,
you...
never mind. 25. I'm bad. I'm bad. at
Is
my
this the
job.
one with the one where you're on the crane, like one player's on the crane and the 3 players are like down there and then they can
Digging
like
around.
wiggle? Is that this game?
that's this one. Yeah.
Fuck me, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right.
Ugh.
This is the one that has the one where it plays a song and everyone's head is kind of shaking back and forth, and then
Yeah, and
everyone
then
has to
the
try and
controls
match the
get
guy
re-
up top.
Absolutely.
Damn, what just a masterpiece. Yeah, I mean, like, unsarcastically, I don't know, like a 15. Like, there's some good. Obviously, the board works. And,
Wait,
Most of
15?
them-
Holy shit! Why out of 25? Holy shit! How did
remember
we
that
fall?
one where they're all on the balls? All
I love the ball minigame.
It's awesome, but it controls like shit.
It's
It's hard.
What?
moves exactly the way you want.
What do you mean? It's just like
No, it
you don't like that you get bumped off the edge. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Okay.
fuck
Let's
that
see.
guy.
Let's see what bowl over. This is one of the controls of bowl over. This is the one where everyone has to hop away as a bouncing pin.
As a fucking bowling pin, which looks fucking horrifying, by the way.
They're like,
All
we're
of
not
this bullshit of
visuals
like, oh
yet.
look, it's Mario, but he's a bowling pin. Oh, it's Mario, but he's a teacup.
Look at
Oh, it's
his-
Mario,
his head, like,
but he's
sticking
a
out.
fucking canister stroker. That's ugh.
Mario.
Come on, this game's great. You jump away to get avoid the shell. The person can still control the shell while it's going. Look at that. See that?
Oh, this is
Like
beautiful.
excellent controls.
Not very good spin. There we go. See, if the game controlled better, Peach would have been able to knock him down.
Well, this is
I give
the
controls
AI, my guy.
A 20 out of 25.
You're going
in
20?
all fairness.
Okay.
I'm going 20. Because enough of the minigames control serviceably, and the board works, and the menus are fine for a Nintendo 64 game. That it's not a tragedy. It's not a tragedy, but there are some minigames that are just fucking. There's so much like mash the button, or like spin the stick, or like just do this thing faster than the other people do the thing, that I can't in good consciousness give this perfect marks. Just because, yeah, there are a couple that are fine, but I need to like.
Wait, name your most hated minigame. Come on.
I think that claw one's real bad. I think the one where you're on the skateboards and you have to like jump the
skateboard.
platforms are real fucking finicky, because the jump has like a
Timing on
delay
that.
to it.
Jumper one's fun.
Like all the things that should be like simple platforming challenges, there's always some funky thing about the movement or the way you have to jump or the way you have to like navigate this, that like you're playing as Mario, you're playing as motherfucking Super Mario, and like it just doesn't, it's not solid enough to like play the way you think it should in your brain.
Look, Mario's had a bunch of milk at the Hootenanny, and so he's a little. Seems not on his A game.
He's definitely
Little trunked up.
And then there's all the shit that's like this, that's like, okay, 4 of you are in an arena and you have to like do some action to each other, and it's just fucking, it's just all random bullshit. It's just all random button hits and like trying to catch the other person, and like one player gets like weirdly bullied because they have the most coins or whatever, and you're trying to get the coins out of them.
There's a strategy.
These static single PNG Shy Guys that are just menacing around them. I know.
That's not with controls.
I know, but I don't like it.
Well, I think that's by design. If you were thrown in an arena and had to fight for your life.
Yeah, it's a battle royale for.
Yeah, no, this is definitely the Apex Legends of its time.
It is.
Fucking, I think 20 out of 25 is generous.
You think you're being generous?
I gave it a 15. So.
You did give it a 15.
Jesus Christ! I don't know what the fuck is wrong
Wait
with
until
you.
we get to system utilization.
In terms, like, you actually gave it like a 15. You fucking psycho. Like, okay, so Mario
Hey,
Party 2 literally has
I'm
Mario
giving-
Party 2 has 65 mini games, and out of them, I would say like 5 are probably like a bug, because like you have like the 4-player mini game, like the one where you're climbing up, it's fine. You're mashing bombs away, avoid the bombs. The bumper balls, I would say like the issue ones for me out of its 65. Oh man, Revive really
This controls better than Banjo-Kazooie.
yeah, in general, like it's for like the
Oh,
fact
hey, it's
that
Ryan's favorite minigame.
Game.
yeah,
Press
the
A,
fact that
controls.
y'all
Press
okay
A
maybe
repeatedly. Controls. Press A repeatedly.
It's so easy.
I'll
It doesn't
drop
work.
It down. I will probably drop it down to
doesn't work.
59 because like I had a
Is
mark.
this the one that has
on-
Cake Factory in it?
It do have cake factory.
Ah, shit. Did it have Cake Factory? I might have to look that
Yeah,
one
this-
up. The
this is
Penguin
Cake
Race,
Factory.
I remember going like... There are certain mini games where like you can tell it was literally slanted towards like the
Peach coming out.
2v2
Peach,
or the
press A
3v1.
repeatedly.
There are certain
Don't worry,
mini games that are
grab her
slanted
again.
towards a team. Definitely, like it's rebalanced in the Switch remaster. Like you can tell, like there's like one like where like, one dude's on a boat and they're on like a little like a pond, and the dude just has to like ground pound and do shit to knock the other people over, and it's like really slanted towards like not the person in the boat, so they had to like change the physics to make sure they could win. Like there's definitely like some balancing issues in some of the games for one. And then I would say like maybe 6 out of its 65 are like, I think you're kind of missing the mark here, which leaves it like 90% rate. You're pretty much hitting the mark, which is pretty damn good for like you're making sub games in a game, which is pretty crazy hard to do if you really think about it. Of like
Kirby
what you're
Crystal
having
Shards
to
did it
do.
perfectly.
But there's only like 4 or 6. There's like
So
fucking-
maybe Mario Party 2 should have had 4 minigames and be a 25 out of 25.
No,
But,
what
like-
they should have did was bring in those goddamn Kirby mini games and put them into Mario Party 2.
Man.
Ah, damn.
Then I'd give it 27. Unfortunately, this is reality and not fantasy.
I would say the tank mini game is like one of the ones that falls short for me. Like,
Oof.
yeah, the tank mini game, I wasn't. The reason I wasn't a fan of it, just like the art and the control of the tank, was like a little bit sluggish. You can tell in the remaster they did try to like kind of tweak how it like the physics worked. Slot Car Derby for sure is like one of those ones where I'm like, I really can't get a feel for like how to maneuver these cards. And then I
Yeah,
watched
didn't block.
You didn't master the slot car?
Mario did it. He got a
Yeah,
star.
like,
legitimate.
the slot car.
star.
Like, did any of y'all
He-
get that? Because like if it's just me, I would like to know. But, like the slot car ones, or that's like
It
one
just
of those
spins out all the
games.
time.
Yeah.
I think
Just
Super
like-
Mario Party
you gotta,
1.
you gotta like ease up off the stick on those turns, man.
I
think that's Mario
tried,
Party
man.
1,
Like,
isn't
I
it?
can do it on the remastered, but holy shit, I cannot do it on the original. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I know
do you
I'm
need-
supposed to speed up and slow down and speed up and
I
slow
think
down.
maybe you need to be playing it on a CRT. Like there's maybe some like frame delay there that you need to
Maybe, yeah.
really
I'll-
dial it in there. Yeah, that's definitely what's going on there.
I'll try that. And then the bow and arrow one, Arch Rival, is just like if the oh my god, dude! Like the fucking bow and arrow one, where it's like, how are we supposed to win as a unit? Because like it's pretty much just in the favor of the person shooting the bow. Just like give up, GG. If the bowling one is like kind of like, yeah, I don't think I can dodge this. The person has pretty good control of their shell. The penguin race, also kind of a crapshoot to the team unit. The solo penguin kind of has the advantage there. What else am I like not on board with?
I think the last time I played Mario Party 2 was with you, to give you an idea of how long it's been since I played, so I'm not really remembering a whole lot of the individual mini games.
Yeah, like
Keep in mind, I
there isn't
love
a
this
whole
game.
lot, but it's a solid pack of games. There's just like those certain few bit of games where I'm like, oh no, here we go. But it's not a lot of them. Like a 90% rate, it's pretty good. So I'm going with like a 23 on my end.
What was this for controls?
For yeah, for controls, like
We've
I
still
mean,
got a whole lot of Mario Party 2 discussion to go.
Oh, we do.
oh yeah, I don't know. I keep doing that. Oh yeah. Where are we
I'll
on?
be right back. I'll be right back.
That's cool.
Alright.
All right, RJ, what is your opinion on the Riemann hypothesis?
Oh, well, first, what's your definition of the hypothesis?
Well, I don't know. I'm a stupid dum-dum, and I need you to explain it to me.
Jim, can you explain all this to him for me? I need to look at my phone.
My opinion, you know what? I agree with Art. I give him
All right, so system utilization 20s across the board. Got it. All right, let's.
Oh yeah.
I might actually
Alright.
unironically be a 20, but I do want to give RJ the floor here.
I think, yeah, I would probably max out that score just in terms of like the amount of things that they have made for these different mini games and just coming up with different controls for everything. And they don't really need to use like you never have to use a C stick, the C buttons for anything. It's just A, B, and the stick, right? And sometimes Z.
A, B, Z, usually. Yeah, A, B, Z
Yeah.
is pretty much your go-tos, except for like
Yeah, well-
menu navigation, but.
Mm-hmm.
Honeycomb Havoc. Hell yeah.
Can you do math? If so,
You're gonna do well at this one.
are your friends generous? If so. It's like WarioWare, man. It's just too simple to fail. Like, it's just, yeah, we just made a bunch of little addictive games that are good to play in small spurts. We've mixed them together well. We've built on our first game. The characters have more personalities when we're going to boards. They're dressing up. You beat up Bowser at the end of it. Like, it all comes together so well. I can't fault it.
I think if you're gonna be a minigame collection, you can't have bad minigames, but most of them are pretty great, so I'll give it like a 19. Even if they don't control well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would only fault 6 of them personally, so like that's very good.
What are we talking about? System utilization?
Yeah,
Yes. Man, speed hockey. Just a boom burst.
Give mine an 8.
Damn. Well, may I ask why?
I mean, the crux of my whole argument against this game is that these mini games are fucking terrible.
All of them.
Oh yeah.
I would like a majority of them to be terrible. For you to say that.
Can you honestly look at the thing we're looking at on the screen and say this is good? This is well designed. This makes
Honeycomb
sense.
Havoc.
Yeah.
Honeycomb Havoc. This like, hey, pick a block, and then depending on what part of the line you're in, you just get fucked. This is good.
Yes, I can.
You like this?
I absolutely can.
You use the power of arithmetic to ruin your friend's days.
There is some strategy here.
Ryan, this
Abandon
is a
ship,
game.
clap, and don't die from the thing. Bombs away, avoid the bombs. You're just like platforming on your friends. Bumper balls, hit the mob, deep sea salvage, get treasure, dizzy dancing, try to get the note in the middle. Like they're all pretty good.
In these games are the ones that are like basically functional. And the ones that are bad are like are just like random chance, and you mash on a button. Who mashes the button faster wins.
Most of them are functional.
More
than most. Pretty much, almost all are functional.
And then of course you have the board aspect, which is just like land on a thing and some random bullshit happens, and I don't know.
It's a board game.
Maybe you get some coins, maybe you lose some coins.
Do you hate like Monopoly then? Because like that's
I'm not a
what
fan.
happens. It's up to chance because rolling dice
Monopoly,
is a chance.
But I like Monopoly more because it's not like every minute I play it, it'd be like, all right, let's everyone flip a coin, and whoever flips the most coins gets an extra $20. Like that's not how Monopoly works.
Yeah, you roll a dice up to chance. I hope you land on the right spot. Otherwise, shit happens.
I forgot that there were like just space police.
Space
on
police,
this level.
Yeah.
Never forget there are space police. There's always been space police. Like your ability to like intentionally do anything in this game is so nothing, because everything comes down to just such random bullshit at the end.
It's a board game. There's an element of random chance because the nature of rolling dice.
So I feel like most of my control in the Mario Party games is the mini games. Like I feel like I have like way more control over there.
And then you're playing this one where like the missile hits you randomly and people jump on your head and you bounce in some direction. I don't know.
Would you rather have
that's
no
why
chance?
You gotta screw over the other people first before they screw you over.
Yeah, like any other board game, you have no chance to use skill because it's all just I roll a dice, the card tells me something, and then things happen. Versus Mario Party, you have some chance to influence yourself through minigames.
Have you played board games that are not like Chutes and Ladders and Monopoly?
Yeah, Eels and Escalator.
Eels?
Oh, you got the eels.
Eels.
Escalator.
There's no other board game like it.
Wow.
Board games pretty much crux on the dice.
Luigi saved that Mario just now from getting 20 coins taken away.
What a beautiful game of camaraderie.
Even in this discussion of Mario Party,
I'm not changing my answer. It's fucking 8.
That's fine.
8. It's 8.
I would
Minigames
say
are bad. The boards are bad. Like you could have made a better board game with better minigames, and you didn't.
Who are you?
I think it's really an incredible commentary on capitalism. How the bank takes all your money and then gives it to one rich asshole who doesn't deserve it.
Well,
Meanwhile, the police chase you away right after you give your bank all the money. They're in the pocket.
Swamp police. We put a big swamp in a hovering car because we need to make it Mario themed. Oh look, the Shy Guy is a building and also a car. Yeah, also this game is fucking ACAB, by the way.
Right. Mario Party 2 says
The
fuck
turtle
12.
shell now.
That's
fun.
You know,
Whenever we're on tanks.
Director Kenji Kikuchi said in an interview later that he had always intended the game to be about the effects of materialism. and how when you
Yeah, right
hit your
now.
friends with a tank, it's really it's talking about the military-industrial complex.
Oh, this is really moving at just a really amazing pace for an action game, by the way. Let's just watch Donkey Kong and Mario point blank each other in these fucking tanks.
See, Mario used cover tactics in order to defeat his opponent, so it's also a game about grand strategy.
Yeah, he peeked the corner. You're right.
Yeah. The creators of Europa Universalis site.
Oh my god!
I'm pretty sure watching this video, I can tell that the guy playing Mario has actually played this game before. The DK player has never played this game before.
Oh my lord, I love it.
And the difference in their skill is like a couple of coins. That's it.
Well, hey, the computer has a star right now, so you know.
Yeah, because he landed on the space for it.
It's
Yeah,
a board
he's
game!
playing to get there.
Look, Luigi just paid off the cops.
Oh look, it's the Thwomp police again. How fun!
Oh my god.
Fuck everything. We should play this game sometime.
So it's the last 30 minutes, like, fuck Mario Party. Ends and I'm like, you know, we should play.
So you can understand. We should play this game so you can like.
Each intentionally counted down the laser counter.
Yeah.
That's a piece of grand strategy. The computer in this game is programmed it.
Oh, it's a piece of something.
Conveying information.
I'm not changing my answer. I'm not changing my answer. It's 8. It's 8.
Conveying information. I'm going with
Conveying
8.
information.
8.
Yeah, I mean, you like anybody can play these games. Like even if you don't like the game, you have to admit, like
That's what they're built on.
like
It is
children
an 8.
can figure this game out.
There's a couple that are weird the first time you play the mini game, but for the most part, you're probably right. I'll give it. What is this out of 8?
Yeah, full marks, baby, full marks. Woo!
Full marks.
I'll give it 8. Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, RJ, sound design.
Oh, my aching everything. I love the sounds in this game. All the characters screaming. The DK's like, nah, nah, whatever the hell that sound's supposed to be. That shit is like ingrained in my mind. Toad screaming. Hey, everyone's screaming. I love hearing the sound of this game. Stupid. The music too for this minigame. The bump, 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 bump.
Isn't that the soundtrack to a lot of the mini games though? Don't a lot of them share?
I think so, but still.
Yep.
So you can hear the stream in Discord.
No, I can't hear the stream. I just
well.
have played this game. I remember a lot of the mini games having the same soundtrack.
I remember I like these sounds.
When Luigi wins, he starts breakdancing, just popping off. It's awesome.
Damn.
He windmills once. Okay, that's barely breakdancing.
When Wario loses, he goes, "No, I missed."
Is Wario in this one? I thought he was only in
Yeah. Whenever he goes and does a hootenanny and gets drunk,
Wasn't
he
he
also says,
speaking
"No,
German
I
or something? Isn't it "Do ein Mist," like a German phrase?
No, he says, "Oh, I missed," but in his Wario accent.
I thought it was a German phrase. I might have to.
Yeah, that's right. Wario's German.
Yeah.
That's what makes him different from Mario.
It's a commentary on the rise of fascism in space.
It is.
The fascism in space, the real story.
Japanese game developers made a game with an Italian plumber and a German, whatever it is that Wario does.
Thief?
We don't know what Wario does. He's a German
What-
thief,
what's
I guess.
No, he makes micro games.
He does make micro games.
It's true. He's a game developer.
He's a game developer. He retired from being an adventurer. And
Think about
became
how
a game
much
developer.
better the mini games in WarioWare are than the mini games in this game are.
Are you saying that WarioWare they should make a WarioWare party game?
Yes, that would be much better than this game.
Alright, so let's make Mario Party.
What a
Alright,
hater.
Take the board games. Take the mini games from here, and then take the mini game from Kirby 64, and then put them in. Take the WarioWare mini games, put them in here, and then you have like the ultimate.
That would be a better game than.
What about the
Ultimate
Pokemon Stadium
game.
2 minigames?
Oh my God! Add them in.
And Post Stadium 1. You can't
Yeah,
remember.
like,
can't
what-
forget, Chant.
Get them all. Get them all. Get them all in here.
Scyther cut.
Those are all better mini games than the mini game. This fucking thing.
Oh, yeah. The
Oh,
I love
Face thing.
I got a 98 and you got a 99. I guess I lose.
Oh, that's because you didn't do it right.
No.
Yeah, you did
If you
do
get
it
above
right.
a certain threshold, you tie. I think.
No, you don't. It's just highest score wins.
Okay.
Yes, cool.
Yeah, man, it's gotta do it right.
Yeah.
Do it right.
Match the
Did
pictures.
Jimmy Neutron steal his hair from Donkey Kong?
Yes. Next
Probably.
question. Like, see, like, look at that guy doing whatever the hell he's doing. What's that Luigi doing? He's fucking
Yeah.
up. He's really messing that up.
I gave Convey Information a perfect score.
I'd probably
Sound
go
design.
5
Oh,
for
okay.
the sound design. Yeah, can't really. It's the wacky zany party. They hit it.
I mean, based on today's threshold, Banjo-Kazooie got a 5, and this ain't no Banjo-Kazooie, so I give it I give it like a 3. It's unmemorable in my opinion. I love
Just
this.
going off the soundtrack.
You can't even hear the.
Oh, this is the game where you can hit L and then make them constantly talk.
No, this was.
No, that was later.
That was added like the next game.
I'm gonna give it
Oh,
a 3 for
there.
sound design because yeah, it's very generic. It's fine.
Oh!
They repeat a lot of the soundtrack for a lot of the mini games. They use the same sound effects for a lot of the characters in a lot of different places. Like Wario says, "Oh, I missed" in a lot of situations.
Yeah, whenever he loses.
Yeah, that's what he loses. Yeah.
When he loses, when he trips on a thing, when he ejaculates, like every time he has to do something, he says, "Oh, I missed."
Well, when a man misses, you gotta let people know.
Duh,
well-
miss. Are you okay, honey? Duh.
Luigi's always been a very caring partner for him, and I.
Oh no.
He wears eyeshadow, and he looks great.
He looks. Dude, he has the best golf
Turquoise
outfit in Mario
eyeshadow.
Golf Super Rush. So yeah, you're right. Like Waluigi.
I actually thought about mentioning Mario Strikers Charge as my game. I want to talk about Okami for like 2 years.
We just need the number from RJ for sound design.
Oh, well. Yeah, I do
Well,
4. I do 4.
that's fair.
Alrighty. Moving on. Targeting visuals. Oh damn. What is my
Well, looking at the newer Mario parties, I can really look at the details on Mario's overalls more. I'm not entirely sure what the newer games look like anymore.
I think it's like, you know how Mario RPG is kind of making it like the remakes looking like clean modern Mario instead of the weird like creepy kind of shadow heavy original.
Yeah.
I think new Mario Party is also the same.
Right, it's very clean.
Yeah, it's like
Sterilized.
they don't do like a space bank anymore now. It's like the Mushroom Kingdom. It's just like gold.
Because I do enjoy the style of Mario Party 2, just like the whole like getting the costumes everyone wears based on like what level you're on. I like the boards. I like the way they look. It is nightmare fuel looking at Mario's head plastered on like a little. Which
Oh, Mario's a cigarette lighter now. Great.
that does look weird. That is weird looking.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's very strange. Like I like that like this Bowser thing is like blocking the Luigi, but Luigi's computer, so he's not using that as an opportunity to kill DK.
No break dancing this time.
Yeah. Oh. It's sound from the game, man.
Oh, a hot potato. This one's fun.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
If you fuck up the throw or the catch, you have to catch it. You fuck it up. He's like intentionally messing up the throw so it blows up.
Oh my lord.
What score would you
yeah.
give for target visuals, RJ?
Oh, 3. It's a 64 game.
All right. I'm a 2.
Yeah, I like the board background, so it's not a 1, but this game kind of
Yeah.
no coherent style.
I'm torn between a 2 and a 3 because it's a Nintendo 64 game, but it's like the worst looking Mario because this game has to have so many assets in it that even if you look at like the model for like 64, it's like like if you look at the Mario 64 model and this model next to each other, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
And this game it relies on it relies on sprites so much, and there's so many of them that they all look kind of grainy because they have to be low res to fit on the Nintendo 64 cartridge. This game kind of this game has that like grainy, muddy, like Nintendo 64 look in a game that is very bright, and it's like it might just be like a Nintendo 64 cartridge is small and so things have to be really low res, but it's really low res in this game. It does have a lot of visual styles to it though, like what you said is true. Like the cowboy level and the desert level and the devil level, it's great.
I like the pre-render backgrounds. This is like horrible looking.
Yeah, it is. I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3.
And then old Jim.
That I said 2.
Oh. Well, damn. What are we on? Some of its parts. This is. Let me look at my own thing. But in the meantime, RJ, please inform us.
All right. So with this game, there's so many things going on with the board, the randomness, the mini games, the story about becoming a party star. I think it's full marks. It's got everything about these games. They all come together into like one horrible mess of one person is really mad at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that.
I love it.
Did this person play a game of Mario Party on every single level? Is that what this video is?
Yeah.
How long is this?
A long time. It is about
is
7 hours.
Turns?
This person played 7 hours of Mario Party?
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, I probably did more than that. My sister. She lost it.
Not in like one day.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, my sum of its parts, I'm gonna give it 2, because if I give it a 1, you're gonna yell at me.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, because I gave it a 1 out of 5, and then I rounded up to a 2 because it's out of 7, so it's a 2 out of 7. Because the mini games are not fun, the board game's not fun, the items are not fun, the game's not fun, and
but do things work?
Actually, no. My reasoning is flawed. Let me give some of its parts a 4, because the mini games on their own are not fun. The board game on its own is not fun. The gameplay on its own is not fun. But together, these things are at least more entertaining than the individual pieces. Just because the individual pieces are so dog shit.
Yeah, I mean that is the point of the category.
That is so when you put it together, it's like
the experience supersedes the individual components.
Yeah. So give it a 4.
And I agree with that. I give it a 7, even though I agree that like it's kind of a crap board game. The mini games are crap, and it's all frustrating, but it's so fun. And it's so stupid. And it has Bowser's Big Blast in it.
Bowser's big blast from Bowser's big ass. This fucking game.
I've had a lot of fun talking about this game, in part because Ryan is so against it. That is Mario Kart, like the perfect summation of it. It's just like there's always someone having a bad time, and everyone else is laughing at it.
Every experience I've ever had with Mario Party is that like, oh, we're taking a star from you because whoopsie daisy, you landed on the Bowser space.
Ooh.
But look, we get to play quicksand cash.
Yeah, whoever landed on the most chartreuse spaces, and you didn't even know chartreuse was a space color. And neither did the game. It just gives it to Wario.
It gives it to Wario because he's the most chartreuse.
Yeah, I think like
look
this is the only Mario Party
right
I would probably give
space right
max
now and
points
tell me
to.
This is a quality product.
Only
Look
one
at
you
his
would get
face.
max points to. Damn.
It's like all the other ones. Like this is like the good one.
And then
yeah.
RJ also gave it 7, right?
Yeah.
I'm a 6, which is like, in spite of some flaws, all things come together. Which, like, yeah, some mini games are flawed. Definitely not like it's like a minority, but yeah, it all comes together. Very, very.
I like that
damn good.
Luigi still dances even though he's dead.
He looks sad
Lost.
too. He's like, I lost.
Ooh.
Oh no,
DK,
Peach!
why'd you do
Peach
that?
got you got, dude. What are
Peach
you
got you with the
doing?
Peach got you with the shimmy.
She got you with that shimmy, dude.
Hey.
All right, story full 6 because it's just Mario Party. So that's supposed to be a story.
You need to stop the dastard Bowser from taking the space station over.
You're becoming the
Oh, wait,
party star.
we skipped over fun factor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
just
shit,
people
shit,
for
shit,
fun
shit, shit. Yeah, we did. Fun factor. Yeah, full
Oh,
6 for me.
Again, are we talking about fun elicited from the game or fun elicited from the experience of the game? I guess it's emotional
I
response.
guess
I
it's
always have
both.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll give it a 6. I always have fun.
It's great fun.
It's okay. Pose this question to you. How much single player Mario Party would you play? Like-
0.
A lot of it.
You and 3 CPUs. Well, how much of that would you play?
I mean, I
would
beat
play
Mario
none.
Parties 5, 6, and 7 completely on my own. So yeah, quite a bit of it.
You have a brain problem.
Well established.
So yeah,
Good
quite,
ball
quite,
over again.
quite a bit of it.
We're gonna watch this
But
again.
I get your point. Yeah, they're like, this is the thing you do with friends. It's a multiplayer game. It's fun.
I don't have friends.
Yes,
I don't
you
need
do.
friends.
You
They
have
disappoint me.
at least you start doing karate chops. We have all played this game with friends, I assume. So
We have.
that
I
is
played-
what it's designed for. It's a
Yeah.
party.
Yeah, it's a party game.
Like it being single player is like that's a bonus feature that they get. It's like, hey, you know, if you really wanna. But this is meant to be played with friends, and I always have fun.
Yeah.
Unless I'm bowling in bowl over in the game. It sucks my dick.
You gotta get the right
Oh,
spin
yeah.
in there, man. What are you talking about?
I give it a 2 out of 6.
Damn, he's just a
Oh.
big hater. All right,
Holy
RJ,
shit.
what do you got?
2 out of 6.
I had a lot of fun with fucking Mario Party. It was like me and my sister would play this 50 turns each map, and for like hours, and it's a great time all around. But whenever I did play with other people, I always had fun, especially people who keep up with me in the mini games.
You play with us at Joey's house?
Ryan
did,
is
yes.
doing the Mario
Okay.
Party 2, and I wish, like, what I want to do to The Last of Us, but I just won't because I have to reel myself in.
Because I have to look at this game with a critical eye, and I have to like look at the quality of its visuals and its games and its gameplay.
I mean,
and
its
go, like,
gameplay is
I
great.
This is not. This is. I have nostalgic memories of playing this with my neighbor too. Don't get me wrong. I have very warm, fuzzy memories of this game, but
This game's great.
this game is bad.
This game's
Yeah,
great.
it plays, controls
Okay.
excellently. We've already established this.
Like
If you
Oh, yeah.
if you
There
try to
are-
give any kind of critical analysis on this game, it's like clearly not good.
It's not clear.
Oh.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I would not agree
I would
with that
say
at all.
so. Like there are games that I played with friends as a child, that like don't hold up. Like this is Mario Party 2. I would still play today. I would never ever play Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2 for the N64 again, unless
That's-
like
I
heck,
mean,
know what
I
was
would
going
play
on.
it with
fair.
you. I know it's pretty
That's fair.
bad, but like, yeah, I'd do it.
That's fair. 'Cause I've been thinking about this of like, oh, this is like, what if I brought up like Berenstein Bears for the Sega Genesis and was like, oh, this game's great because when I played it, it was amazing. Like, it's not. It's bad. It's a pretty piss poor platformer. Like, it's fine, but it's for children. I feel like you guys are like just doing that, but
No, this is
Ye-
genuinely
yes.
good. It's pretty good.
this
we're
is
gonna have to play Mario Party.
we're gonna have to play Mario Party.
We're gonna have to
Oh
do it.
yeah!
We're gonna have to get what's that thing called, Parsec, and figure this
Yeah.
thing out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
And settle this. But I'm sticking with my fun fact. You know what? Give it fun factor 3.
Yeah.
Talk them into it, yes.
Hey, we did it.
The Army Man contingency.
No, that is valid. Like that, the idea of like, yeah, are other games from my childhood that I have fond memories of and would play
Never play again.
less. Yeah, that's true.
This is not that category. I would easily play this again.
I'll
What
say
about
this.
story?
Oh, you know what? You know what? I will say this. I'm gonna move my score down to a 5 because I just remembered Mario Tennis exists, and I would like play that and expect to have fun playing the game. For Mario Party 2, I'd expect to have fun, like laughing at Ryan's misfortune when I take his star.
No, I would expect to have
that
fun
sounds
to
like
play
fun. That
this
sounds like
game.
fun. I'm gonna keep it a 6.
No, what the fuck? What a roller coaster we're going on.
I thought it through. No, you're
I'm
right.
feeling fucked by this game, and I'm not even playing it. Like, do you understand?
Yeah.
The PTSD is strong. I feel you.
Bro.
It's a rough ride.
No, I missed.
Oh, I love it. Well, story. Yeah, I'm sticking with 6. There is no story.
I
have to become the party star.
I think usually my rule is if there's like no or negligible story, I give it a 3, just because it's like, I mean, unless it's like, well, yeah, I'm still gonna give it a 3. There is a story. You got to stop Bowser. It's stupid. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's just there. But
It's not like Tetris where there's literally no story. But
it's literally a board game that if you read the back of the Candyland box and you're like, oh, the evil Dr. Jenkins is taking all the candy canes. Like, that's neat. I'm gonna play the game now. Like, I don't care. I'm just gonna do this, and it's fun.
Stop
I think
people, Dr. Jenkins.
It did add like more boards with more personality than the first one had, so I think that's worth something.
That's not a story.
It kind of is. I mean, that's the plot of the game is no longer Mario needs to beat his friend's ass. Now it's like, I gotta stop Bowser from stealing the hoop.
Like, yeah, everyone has like you're the sheriff of the town, or you're the astronaut of the town, or you're the fucking colonizer of the town, whatever you're doing here.
That's just dressing for the game. Like, that's not someone's
but a lot of
intention
games
to write a story.
and a lot of games story is just dressing for the game. That's what it is here.
Anyway,
A lot of older games, I would agree. But a lot of newer games, it's like, no, you clearly had a story and you're gonna work the game
This is an
around it.
older game.
Yeah, exactly. For a lot of older games, the story is set dressing. For newer games, I would definitely say no, they're trying to work the game around the story.
So like, there's a little more set dressing for this game, like a little bit more than the first one had, and it's not terrible. Like, it's functional. I gave this a 5 because I feel like I just needed to give this game more points because otherwise people will yell at me. Donkey Kong wears a pith helmet. That's fun.
yeah, cowboy hat. It's worth a 3.
That's something.
He still has his tie though.
No,
They didn't like. I don't know if this happens in the later Mario Party games. Like, does later Mario Party have like Pink Gold Peach and bullshit, like Metal Mario, like horseshit invented characters the way that they've started to get to?
I definitely know, at least through the GameCubes. No, it's just Mario and his friends.
No,
Yeah,
I think this is the only one where they dress up though, right?
It is.
I think so. Yeah. Because it has soul.
To this day, it is the only one. Yeah.
Ryan,
It has soul.
we talk about any of the other Mario parties, I'm probably on board. I'm probably talking shit. Like, even though I like those games too, but
They're identical.
nah, this one has.
But this one has soul though.
Oh my god. Well, it has a soul. It has my soul. It's taken it from me.
Well, that's why we gotta play it again so you get your soul back.
Ugh.
And then you'll like the game.
Let's see if Corone has played Mario Party.
God damn it.
What the fuck?
Mario
Beautiful.
Party.
We need RJ. What's he landing on for the story?
For story, yeah, I'll go with a 4. I like
Alright.
I gotta become the party star.
And then for its time, yep, full marks.
3%. Max it out.
Max it out.
Yeah.
I gave it a 2.
You know what? Yeah, no, I'm still giving it a 3. Like, even compared to Kirby 64 and Pokemon Stadium, this one's one that would have been great.
Oh, damn.
1990.
Oh, this is a nail biter here.
First game I could have seen it as a 3, but the sequel that is just more Mario Party. Like, I don't understand the relevance you're equating to Mario Party 2 as opposed to 1. I don't get that.
The
Mario Party,
it's like the one everyone referenced. Literally, if you bring up Mario Party socially for some reason,
I've never experienced this. I've never experienced this. Like,
I don't know
Mario
why
Party
I have,
2
but I have, and it just
never. In my
gotta,
brain, it's like it's the Nintendo 64 ones, and then the GameCube ones, and then that's it. And then like the other one, like the most recent one.
You have to think about it. You have to go outside and talk to people and be like, "Yo, Mario Party 2 is the best one," and they'll say yes.
Okay, we settled the stat. We're going to put you in Times Square, and we're going to give you a microphone, and you're going to interview random people on the street.
I would
particularly attractive young women.
You have no
and
idea.
You're gonna ask them what is your favorite Mario Party,
and then they tell you like they're a little bit of a man hater, and you're like, I don't get it. This has nothing to do with Mario Party, but can you tell me about it? And then they will, I don't know, give you their answer. It'll be very interesting. I'll do it.
Hey, man, we're out here, and hey, you look pretty good. What's your name? I was like, oh, I'm Stacy. It's like, oh, it's pretty good. Let me do. So, what do you think your favorite Mario Party is these days? What?
He has no idea. I'm so on board for that. He has no idea. Like, I go, my God.
When's the last time you did a video actually like capturing statistics? This would be
Shadow of the Tomb Raider would be the last one.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, but so like your very first video, right?
Yeah.
Where you interviewed like 5 friends. Now do that.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. We gotta make a
series.
This
would actually be.
Let's fly back to Vegas and just like, okay, so we're gonna call it the Mario Party dating cast for some reason. It's just like, all right, so Mario Party 2. Well, let's go. What's your favorite outfit? The space paint outfit? The Western outfit? Like, what is it? You gotta tell me.
It's the cowboy.
Cowboy.
And they will just walk away. Mario Party 2 scrapes by with an 80.
Whoa!
Because
Ryan.
Hater McHater over here has to just 8. But it's
does that keep to put it on the list?
It's on the list. It just barely makes it.
Wow.
80 sliding by.
No, I'm okay with me not hating it. I think that's ideal, because if my hating just like blew it off the list, I'd feel kind of bad. But the fact that I'm able to say my piece of like, yeah, I don't think this game is very good, but
I mean, even or it's fine. Like either way, you don't have to feel like you owe the game anything. It's just
I think it's weird. I think it's weird that this game is on the list and Sonic Adventure is not.
What? No, they're not remotely comparable.
It's okay. We still have Sonic Adventure 2. We can still get it on there. We'll get that one on.
No, fuck that.
Come on, man.
That's the poser Sonic Adventure.
That's the cool one. What are you talking about?
No, dude, that's when it went corporate. Like, I don't care about that one.
No, man. Come on, Shadow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, he's cool.
Shadow's
he doesn't use a gun on that one yet.
Doesn't he die? And every other Shadow after that's like a clone Shadow or something? Like, what happens?
Something like that. But
it's great for Sonic Adventure.
No.
Yeah, Sonic Frontiers.
You forgot already.
Have everyone played Sonic Frontiers? Because I would like to talk about that one.
You know, there's DLC coming out for Sonic Frontiers.
I have not. I want to though.
Let's go!
It's free DLC that lets you play as Sonic's friends.
Oh, yeah?
This is what we need.
You can play as Amy, Tails, and Knuckles.
Hold on, Sonic Frontiers.
He plays Amy.
Comes out in September.
My man.
Sonic Frontiers DLC.
I can't wait to play it and see the ending to Sonic Frontiers.
If I told you that multiple songs from the Sonic Frontiers OST have come up in my workout playlist, do you think I'm lying?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'm not.
There are some really good songs in there. It's very strange.
It's got some like very weird. This Sonic Frontiers feels like an older style of game. Like if this game had come out on like an Xbox 360, you would have been like, "Holy shit, Sonic Frontiers!" You know?
Even now, I'm like, just thank God. Like you just literally made the whole thing about like running fast, and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. I'm like in like a weird like stasis with that game where I'm like, this game's kind of cool, but also this game's shitty, but also I really like the game. This kind of sucks. I don't know.
Like I feel like the things that people say they don't like about this were a lot more standard in games some time ago, but now we expect them to not be that way. And so it's like time has made Sonic Frontiers less favorable, but like the general core of that game seems like it's actually pretty good.
You should definitely play it and then tell me my opinion, because I am like super like mixed with that game, because I like it, but I don't at the same time.
That's fair. The Sight, Sound, and Speed DLC dropped in March.
Like I never ever thought to myself I would ever say the phrase "the combat in the Sonic game was like actually good." Never in my life. Never, ever in my life.
Werehog stages in
the Werehog
Sonic
stages can go drown themselves. Like
they're terrible.
Sonic Unleashed is half a good game.
Yeah, so the day stages of Sonic Unleashed, banger, but unfortunately you're attached to like this sludge of awful.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like I'd rather I'll just play God of War again instead of whatever that was.
Oh, is that what that's kind of? It's kind of like a God of War-esque?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Complete with like hit the B button to do your special insta-kill move on enemies. And you have to match the buttons, and if you don't do it right, they get their health back. Fuck you.
So for round 2, I'd like to propose Yaris for the Xbox 360. It's a really underrated gem.
I probably need to slow down because I've been kind of drinking this whole time.
It's like noon. What's wrong with you?
I mean, that's exactly when I started. Like noon o'clock, baby. Let's go.
Right at noon o'clock. My boy.
Day drinking.
My boy drinking.
That's true. When I went to visit you, it'd be like 1 p.m. on a Tuesday, and you just burst in. I gotta hit the sauce, and I'm
like, have you tried this? It's pretty great. It's 3 a.m. in the morning.
That's Everclear.
That's rubbing alcohol, Dad. You can't drink that.
I'm not seeing as good these days. Yeah.
I would just be like, no, today Shingo loses. Square up, and then try my damnedest to make my fucking dumbass jean jacket ass wearing skateboarder fucking, I forgot his name, but he'll live on in my heart. Freeway. There we go. I was trying to get Freeway, and they're like, no, today's his day, baby.
Man.
Freeway.
Man.
Freeway.
Look, that's for future discussion. That's the series finale.
There you go.
It's not gonna
series finale is still not Skate 2.
No, that's the season finale. Is not.
Yeah. We need to get some more Wii U, PS4, Xbox One games up there.
We've been focusing on the things that made us happy in the past, such as PlayStation 1.
At least for this episode, it's been a while. We had to get back in, and we want to talk about games that we liked.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
eventually
okay.
Someday, I will talk about Glover and my hatred for that game.
What the fuck?
I could do the Glover conversation. I've played enough Glover to rule judgment on it. But yeah, we need to do some modern stuff.
This is still like I would play every game on this list except for Last of Us. Every game on this list but Last of Us.
You already played The Last of Us. Why you don't need to play it again?
Do not play The Last of Us. It's such fucking shit.
I might play it again actually because it's so good.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
I would say, I mean, based on this designation, The Last of Us is at least as good as Mario Party 2.
No. The Last of Us is like one of the best games ever made.
God,
and
no.
Mario Party 2
Don't believe anybody when they say that. They have no idea what they're talking about. I will fight him. I will fight anybody.
You will fight me?
I will do the YouTube boxing thing.
I'm gonna fight you in
whatever
Mario
it is.
Why do you not like The Last of Us? Why do you not like The Last of Us? What's wrong with The Last of Us? It's because it has a woman in it?
Okay, number one, it has women, so that's a big minus. Number two, pacing is pretty fucking shit. It is truly just fucking, oh my god. I hate his goddamn pacing of it. What I mean by that is it literally has like the play the game, get stopped, listen to the person, play the game, get stopped. It's very, very on rails in the beginning, even when it does open up, not quite. It's very like, we're gonna tell our story at you, and the game is just sort of there. Like, you really should have just gone straight to the Last of Us show. That's where you should have gone.
modern video game. Okay.
Yep.
Good.
I
No,
despise it.
honestly, if you're talking about the second one, I think I agree. But that first one, I think the action pacing alongside the story, I think is way
I think
better.
people just like Joel and Ellie as characters. That's what I think.
They are great
Yeah.
characters.
That's
They're
what
great
they like.
characters, but
So like, if you're
I
gonna
also
play a
like
walk and
sneaking
talk,
around
play
and
that
hitting
one.
a guy with a hammer, hitting a guy with a brick,
Yeah.
and he goes ah.
But no, it's
I
pretty
just-
like really just bare bones. Yep, this is a room. There's a solution
Bare
to it.
bones.
Yep. This
are
is
there any modern
Mario
video
Party
games?
2 on there?
Yeah, you did.
Mario Party 2
the
ain't
one
bare
where you
bones.
press A repeatedly. Controls. Press A repeatedly.
Hey,
to do
here's
in
a
this game.
room.
It's
Sneak around
one
clickers
crane
or
game.
kill
Press
them.
A
Here's another room. Sneak
repeatedly.
around clickers or kill them. Here's another room. Do the same shit. Here's another room. That's what that
Archer.
is.
You're the Genesis guy. Did you ever play Crusader of Senti? Anna in the chat is asking. After no, Ryan, you're also a Genesis guy.
I have no idea what Crusader of Senti is.
Crusader or Senti?
It's a neat game. It's kind of like I believe it's like almost like a double game. Hold on.
Is Crusader of Senti like the Japanese name for something called like Beat Knuckle or something?
It's like a bunch of like animals or whatever, but I don't remember much. I remember hearing about it. I'm not even pulling it up anymore. Nice.
Ryan, you have
I
played No
never
Mercy, right?
Yeah, like
Okay.
a long time ago. It's been a very long time since I played No Mercy, but yes.
I was like, am I the only one who's played that? Is that a?
I'm gonna. I would need to play that again because I don't remember how to like pin
it's
someone.
like
It's like you hold like R and C down or something, and it
Yeah.
pins them or something.
You and I
like
should
that.
try VTW 2 sometime.
it's definitely a Zelda game.
Virtual Pro Wrestling.
Yeah,
Damn.
we should. And we should also play. We should also try AEW Fight Forever and see how we think.
Yeah.
The main character's name is called Corona.
Oh,
yeah?
let's go.
So I'm gonna have to play Senti.
Shares of Senti. Crusader of Senti. I'm sorry.
Crusader of Senti. Well, think that wraps up this round's picks for this one. Hopefully it's
Good,
definitely not,
95.
like another 2 months until we come
Yeah.
back to it, because I
2 months.
do enjoy these. It is actually it's pretty fun.
I think
good.
our last scheduled one was in February.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
man.
it did not go then.
Yeah. It's been a
Yeah.
while.
Definitely don't want to wait that much longer to get to the next one. Definitely.
Do we want to do an interim actual Mario Party 2 game? Is that actually on the board?
I mean, if you guys get
I would do that.
Parsec, I can.
We have to
fire
do
it.
Parsec. Like that's the only way to do it.
I do
I
have
mean,
Parsec.
unless you have like the Switch version of it, in which case, yeah.
But that's
Parsec.
not this game, right?
Oh,
no.
Okay,
Is
if
Mario Party 2
we're
on Switch?
if we're throwing down on some Mario Party, you best believe that shit's staying right here. Like number 1, number 2, I'm gonna get more drinks. Number 3, we're throwing down. So like, what's happening? Are we doing Mario Party?
I'm not doing it now because I have to eat lunch at some point. But
Yeah.
And
but if we're gonna put
spend
that
my
on
day
the,
not sitting here.
if we're gonna put that on the calendar, I think it should be actual like this Mario Party, not just like
Yeah.
oh Mario Party super big man or whatever the new one is.
All right. So
I'm
for the
gonna-
next bangers, we're throwing down Mario Party 2. Making
Mario
this
Party
hater changes the. You know what? We're doing it. All right, everybody.
You know what?
That's it. That's the stream. Everybody, good night.
Are we having fun yet?